Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. We have Tuesday night football coming from the National League as recently relegated Rochdale take on first placed Chesterfield. Rochdale had spent 102 years in the Football League before relegation last season, finishing 24th in League Two. But under new head coach and former player Jimmy McNulty, the Dale are looking to bounce straight back up into the fourth tier of English football. They do currently sit 7th in the league this season and come into this match after two very late goals away at Dorking Wanderers on Saturday, which gave them 3 valuable points. For the away team in Chesterfield, they have had a flying start to the new season. 5 points clear at the top of the league and only one defeat, and which that was away to Altrincham, means that they lead the pack and are attempting promotion out of this division for the 6th season running. The Spyrites come into this game off the back of a 3-2 home win to Wealdstone, where they overturned a 1-0 deficit with 3 second half goals from Berry, Mandeville and Jacobs before conceding a consolation goal in the 96th minute. This is the first meeting between these two sides since March 2017, when they were both playing in League One. In that season, Rochdale did the league double over Chesterfield, and it saw Chesterfield relegated to League Two, finishing bottom of the league that season. So, for the 114th meeting between these two teams, will Rochdale pick up a third home win of the season, or will Paul Cook's Chesterfield team continue their dominance at the top of the table? It is a huge game for both sides, especially for Chesterfield, who come away from home. And if they can win games like this at Rochdale, who are going to be up there for the playoffs and even not higher up in the table, they want to be coming to grounds like this and winning to really stamp their authority on the league. Only one loss so far this season for Chesterfield, as I mentioned before. That was away to Altrincham, which is another northern side. But it is Solihull Moors in second, who currently boast an unbeaten record so far this season. They are yet to lose, Solihull, despite sitting second. They have won 6 and drew 5. And it's Chesterfield who have won a lot more games. They've won 9 of their 11, drawing 1 and then losing the other as well. But 3 second half goals in 14 minutes at the weekend gave them that 3-2 win against Wealdstone, and it puts them first in the league, and it puts them 5 points clear of second and third place. And top 7 does get playoffs, so Rochdale are currently in that top 7 in the playoff spots, and they're only 1 point off the 3 teams above them in 4th, 5th and 6th. So it's all very close in the playoff spots, and so far only 11 games in, but Chesterfield are starting to create a little bit of a gap between them and second and third place with the 5 points so far. But it's been entertaining football when watching Chesterfield. I don't want to jinx it, I'm going to touch wood there, but they have scored 29 goals in their first 11 and conceded 19. Only the 1 clean sheet so far this season for Chesterfield, the away side, and they have had 4 injury time winners in their opening 11 games. Chesterfield coming in the first game against Dorking, where they won it in the 100th minute, and then in the 4th game against Hartlepool, where they won in the 94th minute, and then in the 8th game against Dagenham and Redbridge, where they scored in the 91st and the 97th minute to get the winner, and against Halifax 2 games ago, they won it in the 91st minute. So loads of late drama in Chesterfield games, and they've had a lot of late winners out of additional time. They've also had scorers coming in at in 80 plus minutes played. So no matter what the score is for Rochdale, if they are ever leading this game at any point, then they need to be careful, because we know Chesterfield can come back late. 4 injury time winners in 11 games. Yes, we know there's been an increase of added on time going into these new games and into the new season, but to score so often in this, added on time where we're getting, 7, 8, 9 and even 10 minutes, it shows a good mentality from Chesterfield, who are wanting to go up this season. They finished 3rd last year, quite the way behind Wrexham and Notts County, but them two sides were just beyond and above everyone else. They were 23 points off Notts County, who finished 2nd, and they were 27 points off Wrexham, who finished 1st. But they really made a good account of themselves. We commentated on the National League playoff final in the summer that just gone, and it was a 2-2 draw after 120 minutes between Chesterfield and Notts County, and unfortunately for Chesterfield, Notts County beat them on penalties, but they were so good that day, Chesterfield. They really were a good side. They went ahead twice in the game, but were pegged back both times. But they're going to be looking this season to go up, get into League Two, back into the Football League. You know, this is their 6th season now in the National League. Their last season in League Two was in the 2017-2018 season when they were relegated bottom. So they want to get back in the Football League. You know, they're a really good Football League side in the past, and they want to get back to those heights. And it's going to take them hard work this season. You know, 46 games season. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot of Saturday, Tuesday. There's not a lot of that. You know, there's not a lot of give in National League seasons. And Chesterfield have to be on it under Paul Cook, who's back as Chesterfield manager for the second time. He was manager here from 2012 to 2015, and now he has returned. He returned back in February of 2022, managing his 75th game in the National League for Chesterfield. He currently averages 1.74 points per match. Can he be the one to lead them all the way to the promised land of the Football League? We've got both sides in the tunnel currently waiting to enter the Crown Oil Arena, normally called Spotland Stadium, but due to sponsoring rights, they are currently called the Spotland Stadium. As we're going to wait for both sides to come out of the tunnel, I'm going to go through both lineups in a little bit more detail, as you can already see them on the screen. So we're going to start with Rochdale, and it is going to be Louis Molden in goal, on loan this season so far from Wolves. He's going to have a back three of Cameron John, captain Ethan Ebanks Landell, and George Nevitt, only 17 years old, made his professional debut at the back end of last season, and now he signed his first pro contract in the summer. He plays in a back three, and then wing backs are going to be Kwaku Oduro, on loan this season from Derby, formerly of Manchester City's academy, and on the left is going to be Harvey Gilmore, who is joined on a free this season from Halifax Town. And then two in midfield is going to be number 4, Ryan East, who has started all of the National League games since joining in late August. And Adam Clayton is going to be alongside him, who's also joined this summer from Bradford City in League 2. And then a front three of Jerusalem Uchegbulum, who was signed from Chesterfield in the summer for an undisclosed nominal fee. And on the left is going to be Tyrese Sinclair. 7 goals so far this season for the 22-year-old. 3 braces in those 7, coming against Bromley, York and Barnet. And leading the line up front is number 9, Cairo Mitchell, signed from Notts County, who were promoted last season. Also did play for Chesterfield for around 4 or 5 months in 2021, scoring once in 8 games. He's going to be leading the line, looking to try and punish this weak and lacklustre Chesterfield team, who do not keep a lot of clean sheets. Only 1 clean sheet so far this season for Chesterfield in their opening 11. And we're going to go with the Chesterfield side. On loan for the end till the end of the season from Everton is their goalkeeper Harry Tyra. 6'4", was on loan at Chester last season in the National League North, where they reached the playoff semi-final but were beaten by Brackley. A back four of a makeshift right back, Liam Mandeville, usually a forward, but he's replaced Jeff King as at right back. He has scored 3 goals so far this season. Liam Mandeville, one coming in their last game against Wealdstone in the 3-2 victory. Tyrone Williams and Jamie Grimes, the 2 centre-backs, and on loan till the end of the season from Sheffield United is Miguel Freckleton. He plays at left back. 2 holding midfielders of Tom Naylor, who returns from his red card 2 games ago against Halifax, and he'll play alongside Mike Jones, the 36-year-old who was signed last summer from Barrow. And a 3 behind the striker is going to be on the right, Ryan Colclough, signed in January of this year from Altrincham. On the left is going to be Michael Jacobs, who scored his first goal of the season in their last game against Wealdstone. And Armando Dobra will be playing in behind the striker, signed last summer from Ipswich. He has the 1 goal so far this season. That came in the 9th game away at Ebbsfleet, where it was their 1-0 win for Chesterfield. And leading the line, it's not Will Grigg. He's on the bench, the man signed from MK Dons in the summer. It's going to be 6'4" Joe Quigley up front. He's got 3 goals so far this season, and all of them have when he has come off the bench. He's only making his 2nd start of the season, Joe Quigley. His other start came in their only loss this season in their 5th game against Altrincham. On both benches, it's going to be Max Taylor, Kyle Ferguson, Max Conway, Jimmy Keohane and Ian Henderson for Rochdale, and for Chesterfield is going to be Jeff King, Ash Palmer, Ollie Banks, James Berry and Will Grigg. 2 changes for Rochdale from their last game on Saturday against Dorking, where they won 2-1. It is Keohane and Henderson to drop to the bench, and incomings is Kwaku Oduro and Jerusan Jesuran Ucheg Bulam, who comes in the right winger, signed from Chesterfield. Can he haunt his former club, Ucheg Bulam? We'll have to wait and see. But we're going to be Rochdale kicking left to right, Chesterfield right to left in the start of game week 12 in the National League. It's a Tuesday night fixture. Who will come out on top? It's Rochdale who take up the last playoff spot, and it's leaders Chesterfield on the top of the table, the away side. As Rochdale kickers off, they play back to their goalkeeper from kick-off, who sends it long up deep into the Chesterfield half, where the header is missed by Williams, but it'll be cleared by Jacobs into the centre of the park, where Banks heads forward, looking for Quigley, who helps it on, and it's cut out by Nevitt, who turns his man nicely, plays it across goal to Ebanks Landell, who will try and play a ball forward. It's a low one, it's intercepted, and Chesterfield try and get forward, but it's a misplaced touch by Colclough. It's one back by Nevitt, who plays it forward to Clayton towards halfway. Out to the left now to Sinclair. Apologies, getting the timer sorted. There we go. It's still Rochdale on the ball. Long kick up by their goalkeeper, cut out by Mandeville at right back tonight. Playing across to his left now to Dobra, who charges forward towards the edge of the box. Plays out to the left to Colclough. 1-on-1. Going inside. He's tackled, though, fairly by number 11, Ucheg Bulam. And it is Rochdale to play out from the back in their 18-yard box. Ebanks Landell up to Ucheg Bulam. Playing it off to Oduro, that right wing back. Goes back to his captain, Ebanks Landell. Long ball down the right channel. He's searching up front for Mitchell, which cut out by Chesterfield. It's a throw-in for Rochdale towards the halfway. Long ball cut out there by Chesterfield captain Jamie Grimes. So here is Oduro, the right wing back, driving towards the centre of the field. Getting away from Dobra and playing it across to the left here. To John, the left centre back, in the back three tonight for Rochdale currently. And it's East on halfway. It goes back to Nevitt, the young centre half. As I mentioned in the pre-match build-up, Everett signed a pro contract in the summer after breaking into the first team at the back end of last season under their new head coach Jimmy McNulty, who is in caretaker charge as he plays the ball over the top down the left, looking for Sinclair on the edge. He's tackled by Mandeville, who plays it forward now, and Chesterfield try and get forward through Naylor. Poor ball by the midfielder, but it drops to Dobra. Poor ball from Oduro, and it's played out to the left now to Colclough. In the final third, he wants to enter the box. He does. He cuts onto his right foot, but he's outmuscled by Ebanks Landell, who's then taken down by Colclough, who tried to retreat the ball for his side, and it will be a free kick just inside of their own box for Rochdale. Good strength there from Ebanks Landell to barge Colclough off the ball and then win the free kick off the Chesterfield forward. And it will be Malden to take the free kick from his 18-yard box in a full green kit. The Rochdale goalkeeper sends it forward deep into the Chesterfield half, where it's up towards Mitchell, who nods it down nicely here. Lost, though, by Gilmore. Strong tackle midway inside the Chesterfield half, and it's now with Banks in the midfield, with Jones in the midfield. Sorry, not Banks, Jones. It's now Mandeville at right back, forward to Jones. Going towards the right back himself, towards his own goal, where he plays it to his goalkeeper, Tyra. He clears it forward, down the Chesterfield right, up towards Quigley, the target man striker over his head, and it'll run right through into the Rochdale box and to be collected by Malden. Rolls it out forward into East. He's playing in that midfield alongside Adam Clayton. And East gets forward, pokes it forward towards Gilmore, cut out on halfway. Now Chesterfield are in behind. Great ball. Colclough strikes it, and it's well saved. It is really well saved. First big chance drops to Chesterfield and Ryan Colclough. It was a bad loss of possession there by Ryan East in the Chesterfield midfield. And as Chesterfield gained it back, they played it through to Colclough in the box. He got away from Ebanks Landell this time, got in front of the centre half, and he tried to go through the legs of Malden, but he just blocked it with his thigh, and it goes behind for a Chesterfield corner. Taken deep, curling inwards, and it's put out for another corner. It was well kept out there by the goalkeeper Malden, as it was Tyrone Williams attacking the ball. It was an in-swinger, and it was swinging in towards the far post, and it comes off the head of the goalkeeper and behind for another corner. Second one for Chesterfield, 4.5 minutes in. It's going to be an outswinger this time, with Liam Mandeville over the corner. And he hesitates to take it. He's going to have to redo this run up, Mandeville, and in it goes. It's a floater towards the far post, towards Williams again, but it's quickly to win it across goal, headed away by Gilmore. It's kept alive for Chesterfield by Jones, out to Mandeville again, who will swing the cross in. It's a dangerous one, won by Ebanks Landell to the edge, and it's helped on by Clayton. And it falls to Mitchell, the Rochdale striker. Plays it forward down the left, looking for Sinclair. Cut out nicely. And then Chesterfield win a free kick midway inside the Rochdale half. It was a late one there by Cameron John. And it will be a free kick given by referee tonight, Michael Barlow, officiating his fifth game, in the National League this season, where he's give out 17 yellow cards in those previous 4. It's a free kick for Chesterfield on the right-hand side, too far out for a shot, but quite a nice angle to put a cross in here for Liam Mandeville. He's usually an attacking player, so can put good crosses in. It goes towards the far post, and it's an unmarked Chesterfield man, and it's a save by the goalkeeper. Falls to Quigley in the box. Goes back to Dobra on the left-hand side. Wants to get onto his stronger right foot. Lays it off to the edge of the box. Dobra on the edge, trying to shoot. Running across goal, can't pull the trigger yet. Jacobs, lifted ball out to the right. Finds Colclough. Crosses, comes off Navitt. And it'll be a throw-in for Chesterfield. Chance there at the far post. It was helped forward there by Freckleton. And in the 6-yard box, I think Grimes, the centre-back, helped it on with his head. And it was saved by Malden. In the opening 6 minutes, it's definitely Chesterfield who are the better side. There's a throw in here for Mandeville, former Doncaster man, into Jacobs towards the byline. Works the cross into Dobra off the post, off both posts and in. The Albanian strikes for Chesterfield. It's been a fantastic start for the Spyrites, and they are rewarded with a goal. It's only his second goal of the season for Armando Dobra. And his previous goal did come in a 1-0 away win to Ebbsfleet. They're going to look for more goals tonight, and it looks like they're going to be scoring loads because they are on fire at the minute. Such a good start for Paul Cook's men. It was worked down the right-hand side. The Mandeville throw-in to Jones, forward to Jacobs, who just about worked the cross in. And in the 6-yard box, he's unmarked, all alone. It's criminal that he's got that much time to head the ball towards the far post. Came off one post, bounced off the other, behind that white line. Counting as a goal for Chesterfield. One post, off the other. Didn't hit the back of the net, but he definitely went over the line. And it's Rochdale 0, Chesterfield 1. What a start for the Spyrites. But the fact that Dobra had so much time and space in the 6-yard box to head the ball in is absolutely ridiculous. It's definitely questions to be asked. Is Rochdale going to come at them with a straight from Clayton on the edge of the box? It deflects in the box to Gilmore. Still alive here. John dinks a ball in. Doesn't come off the hand. It deflects to Gilmore. And then John goes back here for Rochdale to Nevitt. Across and back towards the halfway line to Clayton. Out to the right here now to Oduro. Trying to link up with Ucheg Bulam, who loses out of a good strong challenge from goal scorer Dobra. And then it will be a throw-in for Chesterfield as Dobra kicks it off Ucheg Bulam. Really good start for Chesterfield, showing exactly why they are top of the National League this season. They're looking to make it 10 wins from 12 to start the season. As they play out from the back, it's with their left back, Freckleton, being pressed by Ucheg Bulam. He gets the clearance up towards halfway, brought down by Dobra, and plays it to the left now. And it goes across, and it's cut out by Mitchell, but he falls over, so it gives it back now to Dobra. And back to the 18-yard box with their goalkeeper, Harry Tyra, who is on loan from Everton. As I mentioned, only the one clean sheet so far this season for Chesterfield, and he's played all the minutes so far in goal for the Spyrites, as his clearance up the field has been won by Rochdale as they try and go down the left-hand side with Sinclair, and he wins the throw-in for his side. Just in front of the technical areas there on the far side. But how the times have changed. It was Chesterfield who was on the end of a league double in 2016-2017 against Rochdale when they were last in the same division, and that was in League One. They met in December, Boxing Day, where they were beaten 3-0 at Rochdale, and then they were beaten at the home ground as well in March of 2017, but they've taken the lead here in 2023. As Chesterfield clear up the pitch with Naylor up towards halfway, can't find Quigley, goes out for a throw-in on the halfway line. Currently 1-0 at the Crown Oil Arena. Needs a bit of a wake-up here, Rochdale. Not got off to the best starts here, as they're just inside their own half with George Nevitt, Welsh international, 17 years of age, making his 9th appearance for the first team. As a ball over the top is brought down by Mitchell. Can he find the finish? The flag stays down, and the goalkeeper comes and collects the ball. Really good goalkeeping there. The goalkeeper stays down. He might have been caught there by Mitchell as he was trying to strike. The Chesterfield defenders want the flag, and the flag never came. It was just with Ebanks Landell in the Rochdale half, and he sends a ball over the top of the Chesterfield defence, and I think he's onside. He brings it down really well, but it just bounces off his knee and in front of him, where he has to then chase it down. And as he chases the ball down, the goalkeeper also came and stopped him from shooting once and twice. And it was good goalkeeping from Tyra, who stays down holding his head, but I don't think he was even kicked in the head there. So he's back on his feet, ball in hand, and we can restart the game once again. Really good defending and goalkeeping there from Harry Tyra. Sent up the field. It's a long one, and it's gone out for a goal kick on the opposite end for Rochdale. There is also League Cup action, which I'll keep you up to date with scores, as Salford are 2-0 down at home already to Burnley, half an hour in. As we concentrate back with this game, and it's John. Back to Nevitt. Goes back once more into his own 18-yard box with goalkeeper Malden. He's going to go long up the field, beyond the halfway line. Doesn't find anyone. Nowhere near Cairo Mitchell, who's up front tonight for Rochdale. Goes right through to Harry Tyra, who's in a full pink strip tonight for Chesterfield, in between the sticks. Rolled out to the edge of the box to Jamie Grimes, the captain. Dink ball down the left channel. Can't find Quigley. Headed forward by Oduro. And it's now with Ebanks Landell to his goalkeeper, Malden. Plays it forward to East, who's allowed to turn on the edge of the box, and he's got a bit of room to run into. The Rochdale midfielder goes out to his left here to John. Forward to Sinclair. Back to John, who's exactly on halfway line in front of the home technical area. It goes back to Nevitt. And across to number 6, Ebanks Landell, who was at Wolves until 2019 after joining at the age of 9. He's now 30 years of age, the 6'2" centre-back and the captain tonight for Rochdale, as he plays it across to George Nevitt, who was permanently training in the summer, in the pre-season with Rochdale, and he plays a ball through and in behind for Mitchell, who strikes! And it's a quick-fire equaliser, and it's the young 17-year-old Nevitt with an unbelievable through ball, splits the Chesterfield defence, and the man signed in the summer from Notts County finishes and asks Cairo Mitchell. It's his 4th of the season. He started and played every game and every minute so far this season, and from his own box, he plays a low ball right through the gaps in the Chesterfield team. Straight in behind for Mitchell, who takes it on the edge of the box. The goalkeeper came to close the angle. Mitchell was aware, as he just checked before he struck, and he was a shot straight down the middle of the goal. You might have to question the goalkeeping, but Mitchell won't care. Takes it on first time. Striker's instinct, and he gets his goal, and it's Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 1. Goals galore already at the Crown Oil Arena. As Rochdale are messing around in their 18-yard box. It is eventually cleared by Ryan East. Headed back forward by Grimes. Won by Clayton. It's now Gilmore, who goes to the right now to Oduro. Chesterfield throwing halfway inside the Rochdale half. As it's another game with no clean sheet for Chesterfield, as they've got it on the halfway line with right back Mandeville, chops inside and just about takes it away from Sinclair. Now finds Grimes. But that ball through by Nevitt went, honestly, it went through the big gap in the midfield and the big gap in defence. It went straight through the two holding midfielders and then straight through the two centre-backs, right through the middle. It's great vision from Nevitt to get an assist. And it's a great finish as well from Cairo Mitchell, formerly of Chesterfield, haunting his old side, the Granada striker. And it looks like we might have a game full of goals. As it is a Chesterfield throw, just inside their own half still, with Miguel Freckleton, who is labelled as a commanding, composed defender. The 21-year-old currently at Sheffield United. Joined them in December of 2021. His throw-in is flicked on by Quigley in the Rochdale half, but no one's there to chase it, and it's won back for Rochdale by Nevitt, who receives the ball back from his goalkeeper on the edge of the box. Looking out to the right, but he goes down the middle again instead, looking for Mitchell, cut out by Grimes. Cleared to the Chesterfield left, picked up on the Rochdale right by the wing-back Oduro. And he goes inside to Clayton. It's now Ryan East back into his own half with a pass to Ebanks Landell. I might definitely mix up the games. A good thing, not just... try to cover all the leagues possible. Give me experience covering all kinds of football. There's a long ball down the left for Rochdale. Is cut out by the head of Liam Mandeville. I mentioned a few times, but I really want to nail this down. Liam Mandeville, who's at right back tonight for Chesterfield, is usually either an attacking midfielder or a right winger. He is not usually used in a defensive manner, but he's been used there tonight. I don't know if it's Paul Cook trying to fix their defensive woes by putting someone else there, trying someone else there. I don't know, but again, only one clean sheet for the league leaders so far this season in their first 11 games in the National League. As Rochdale play out from the back in their own half, it's with Clayton, who plays it forward to Oduro. Forward once more to Ucheg Boulam. Completes a 1-2 of Oduro and can't quite get the ball back towards the Rochdale winger, and it's won by Dobra, the goal scorer for Chesterfield. Inside to Jones, out to the right to Jacobs. He has to go back to Williams, forward to Mandeville, midway inside the Rochdale half. He's been forced back himself again by Grimes into the edge of his 18-yard box now with Tyra. Good pressing from Rochdale to force Chesterfield back to their own goalkeeper, who sends a long ball forward up towards Joe Quigley. Loses out on the first header to Ebanks Landell, but it'll drop to the left to Dobra. In the final third, running towards goal, tackled by Oduro, but his tackle flicks only as far as Jacobs for Chesterfield. And Grimes flicks it out to the left to Colclough, who has been caught in an offside position there on the Chesterfield left. Former Altrincham attacker, Ryan Colclough, who has got the 5 goals so far this season. 2 of them coming in, 2 in his first 2 games this season. Also got 3 goals in 3 games in a row from game 6 to 8 against Hartlepool, Aldershot and Dagenham and Redbridge. As the ball drops in the midfield towards Ryan East, picked up by Nevitt though for Rochdale as he drives towards the halfway line. He looks out to the left hand side and he feeds it out nicely here to Tyrese Sinclair. He's going to run at Mandeville. He plays it forward to East, who's come out to a left-hand side position here on the far side of Rochdale. It's now into Clayton. Ball in behind for Mitchell. He's in the box on the left. He tries a left-footed shot. It did seem quite unnatural for him. Dragged it far wide. But again, no flag there on Cairo Mitchell, who seems to be timing his runs very well so far tonight. Great find from Clayton, who was onside as well, Mitchell. It was Freckleton at left-back for Chesterfield, who was keeping him onside. Adam Clayton with good vision there. The central midfielder, number 8 tonight for Rochdale. He was at Middlesbrough for 6 years, from 2014 to 2020, and he was a big part of their Premier League campaign, where they played in the Premier League from 2016 to 2017. He played 34 times in that season, Adam Clayton, so he is a top-quality footballer coming towards the end of his career, as Ryan Colclough on the edge of the box for Chesterfield is tackled well by Clayton, and he plays a ball forward to Gilmore, out to the right to Oduro, who is being bombarded by Chesterfield men, and he runs out of pitch on the Rochdale right, midway inside his own half, and it'll be now a Chesterfield throw taken by Freckleton. And he gets the return, he goes back to halfway to Grimes, Goes to the left back, Freckleton. Forward, down the left channel, he finds Colclough, who's onside this time. In the final third, he takes on the right wing back of Oduro and then can't get beyond Adam Clayton because he's been fouled on the edge of the box on the left side there. So it's an angled free kick. Cross and shot is a possibility. Either will go. Let's have a look if this was a foul. He got beyond Oduro and then Clayton came over, lunging in quite aggressively, and he did win the ball, but he must have took out the man first before winning the ball, and the referee deems it as a foul, and it'll be a free kick for Chesterfield. 3-0 now to Burnley, away at Salford, 35 minutes in. Wolves lead Ipswich 2-1 away from home. Middlesbrough 1-0 up away at Bradford City. And then Exeter and Luton, Port Vale and Sutton are all 0-0, along with Manchester United at home to Crystal Palace. They're the League Cup third round games tonight, as Chesterfield have a chance to regain their lead. It's Mandeville over it. He's come over to the left-hand side here. He'll put a whipped ball into the 6-yard box. It's punched away by the Rochdale goalkeeper, helped on by Sinclair. Only as far as Dobra, who's around 25 yards away from goal. He has to go back to the halfway line to Freckleton. He goes back once more to their goalkeeper, so Chesterfield can keep possession, but they may not keep it for long as a long ball forward's gone up towards... I think he was aiming for Dobra. It was nowhere near the Albanian. It goes out for a Rochdale throw-in deep inside their own half. Just showing that pass again from George Nevitt. Unbelievable ball. Just like, if you're talking about splitting a team in half, that is how you do it. It is a perfect pass. Not the best of finishes. It's straight down the middle of the goal. You know, goalkeeper Harry Tyra won't be best pleased with himself, really. But as I mentioned before, Cairo Mitchell will not complain. He gets his name on the score sheet once again for Rochdale this season. As Mandeville chip ball down the right midway inside the Rochdale half, cut out by the Dale, but it is back with Chesterfield with number 4 Tom Naylor, signed in the summer from League One Wigan. Chips it out to the left to Colclough, brings it down on his chest, plays a ball forward into the box looking for Dobra, but it's well swept up there by Ebanks Landell, and it'll be a throw in halfway inside the Rochdale half for Chesterfield with Miguel Freckleton, who takes it on the halfway line, throwing it back to captain Jamie Grimes, who has played 2 seasons in the league above, in League 2 for Cheltenham and Macclesfield when they were the club they once were. As Naylor gets it out to the left to Colclough, takes it around the outside of the wing back and shot towards goal, saved comfortably there by Tyra. Struggling a little bit on that right there, Oduro, the Rochdale wing back against Ryan Colclough, who is playing on the left wing so far tonight for Chesterfield. Rolled out to the edge of the box to Nevitt for Rochdale as they try and play out from the back here. Simple pass back into his own box to Malden. Ball out to the left to Ryan John, brought down fantastically by the Rochdale defender. Doesn't quite go towards halfway, plays it across to East, and then he passes the halfway line and passes it forward to Sinclair. Back in it goes to Clayton, who backheels it very smoothly into Nevitt to take it away from Joe Quigley, who was getting back helping defend in there. The Chesterfield striker, Clayton, ball forward in between the lines for Gilmore, tries to lift it in towards East, but it's intercepted and the ball runs to halfway where it's picked up by John for Rochdale. Now Nevitt, switch out to the right, finds Uçek Bulam, who fancies on taking Freckleton. Fails the first time, but he keeps the ball away from the Chesterfield fullback and plays it back to the halfway line to Ebanks Landell. Big switch out to the left into the final third, looking for Sinclair, cut out not very convincingly by Liam Mandeville, but the flag was up on Sinclair anyway, and it'll be a free kick for Chesterfield in the right back area. .23.5 minutes in, it's Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 1. Early goal by Armando Dobra in the 7th minute was cancelled out 6 minutes later by Cairo Mitchell. As Manchester United take the lead in the League Cup, Garnacho with the goal. As that free kick has been headed away by Rochdale's Ebanks Landell midway inside his own half, and it's now with Oduro. Back to Ebanks Landell, forward to Clayton, still inside the Rochdale half as they're being pressed high here by Chesterfield. It's Clayton moving away from Naylor, playing out to the right back area to Oduro, up towards halfway, trying to find Gilmore, but the pass is a little bit misplaced there, and it'll run through for Chesterfield with Mike Jones. Very, very experienced man, Mike Jones, number 35, 36 years of age. He's yet to score for Chesterfield despite joining last summer. It's with Grimes. Left-footed ball up into the sky. Brought down by Clayton and played forward towards Uçek Bulum, which cut out for Chesterfield and played forward by Dobra into the Rochdale half, but no one in orange for Chesterfield was there to chase the ball down, and it's back for Rochdale inside their own half with Ryan East, the left-footed player, and sends a left-footed ball over the top towards Cairo Mitchell, who may have beat the offside trap again there, but the ball was overhit and it was collected by Harry Tyrer, the 21-year-old goalkeeper who signed a pro contract at Everton in January of 2020. He is featured on the bench 7 times for Everton during his time at the club. As a long ball over the top, he's found Ryan Colclough towards the byline. Now he wants to cross. He's met by a strong challenge though by Oduro, and he concedes the corner. He is struggling a little bit. I mentioned it a few minutes ago. Colclough is having a good game so far on the Chesterfield left. The 28-year-old. Got in behind Oduro. And he wins a corner for his side. Got some tall players. Both centre-backs, Williams and Grimes, are both 6'2". They're striking that tonight 6'4", and they go short, and he gets it back into Mandeville. Crosses it towards the far post and headed in. Flag stays down, and it's Tom Naylor with the goal. From midfield, it's his 4th of the season. He missed the last game due to a red card he got against Halifax 2 games ago. Straight back in the side and back with a goal. And it's very similar to the first. Unmarked in the 6-yard box. It's horrific defending. The corner went short. Mandeville got the return ball. He crosses it in. He's just onside. And in the 6-yard box, it's pretty much a free header. And it's an easy goal. Great curling ball in by Mandeville. And in the 6-yard box, completely unmarked again. Just has to get good contact on the ball, which he does exactly that. And it goes beyond Louis Malden in the Rochdale goal. And just over 26 minutes in now, it's Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 2, full of goals in the National League. What a start to the game. It's Tom Naylor with the goal. As I mentioned before, sent off 2 games ago against Halifax. Missed the game against Wealdstone, but he's straight back in. No surprise as well. He played his football last season in the Championship with Wigan, who were relegated, unfortunately. But he did play 36 times in the Championship last season. The 32-year-old who was given a contract worth 3 years at Chesterfield, which he signed in the summer. And they're now ahead again, but 2 headers they've scored from where their players were free in the 6-yard box. It's just criminal defending from Rochdale. It's just simply not good enough at all. And the league leaders lead again. As Joe Quigley picks up a booking, the Chesterfield striker. Not sure what for. Paul Cook also asked the question of the linesman on that far side. Oh no, it's Colclough, sorry, not Quigley. Colclough with the yellow card. I didn't quite see what it was for. I don't think it was a foul or anything. Honestly, I'm lost. If I see the replay, I'll let you know. But Ryan Colclough has gone in the book here. It's Ebanks Landell. Ball over the top of the Chesterfield defence. It's just about won by Freckleton with his head at left back. And he'll play a long ball forward. It's a lifted one into the Rochdale half. Chested down expertly by Ebanks Landell. And he gets it out to the right wing back, Oduro. Now inside to East on halfway. Goes back to Ebanks Landell again, the Rochdale skipper, who's played 1 time against Chesterfield previously when he was at Sheffield United. It was a 4-1 away win at Bramall Lane. He plays them for the 2nd time tonight, and he's on the ball again on the edge of his 18-yard box. He's been pressed by Colclough, but he shifts it back to his own box with Malden, who concedes his 15th goal of the season after that header from Tom Naylor. He plays it out to his right centre half, Ebanks Landell. Ball forward. Can't find Mitchell, cut out by Grimes, but it drops to Clayton, who finds East. Goes to the left now to John. On halfway for Rochdale. He wants to try and link up with Sinclair. who's on the left tonight. He's not seen enough of the ball, Tyrese Sinclair, who's got 7 goals so far this season in the National League, 3 braces in those 7. It's Bromley, York and Barnett. Switch out to the left, though. Looking for, I think that is Sinclair, and he keeps it in and away from the Chesterfield man, and he drives inside, about 30 yards away from goal, tries to zip a ball out to the right, cut out by Freckleton, and it drops to halfway line to Ebanks Landell for Rochdale, and they'll come again. It's Ucheg Boulam, trying to get beyond Freckleton, but he loses out, and Freckleton comes away with it. It's Grimes on the ball, dinks it out to the left, it's chested down by Colclough and flicked over the head of Oduro, who is not beaten there by Colclough this time out, the wing back. And Rochdale get it forward with East poking it towards Gilmore. Trying to find Sinclair in behind. The flag goes up this time. Midway inside the Chesterfield half, Tyrese Sinclair tried to get away. But he was just caught offside. But in fairness, I think the pass was a little bit late. He was asking for it for quite a bit. And then it was given to him. But Tyrese Sinclair is the son of Frank Sinclair, who was a former Chelsea player, and he's now the manager of Doncaster's under-18s. They're looking here at a foul from Tom Naylor after his header. A little bit of a push on Gilmore, but Gilmore didn't really ask any questions of the decision to give the goal. He wasn't, asking for anything. So, for me, if the player doesn't ask for it, then, why should you give it? If they've got a real problem with it, they'll complain. As Ucheg Boulam here has stayed down, the Rochdale right winger who was bought in the summer from Chesterfield. He's down with a shoulder problem. It was when he was dispossessed by Freckleton. Freckleton may have just been a little bit too hard with him and may have hurt the right winger's shoulder. Jasurin Ucheg Boulam. It's quite the story. He was born in Nigeria and he moved to Italy as a youngster where he was scouted by AC Milan at the age of 7. And then at the age of 15, when he moved over to England, he was scouted. He was on trial at Everton at age 15. So he's had quite the career. Jasurin Ucheg Boulam, quite the name. The former Chesterfield right winger, who did score 2 goals for the club in the National League. They came last season to Yeovil in September and Torquay in November. And made the switch to Rochdale in August for a nominal fee, as it was described on the Rochdale website. Back on his feet, Ucheg Boulam. And it looks like we're going to get back underway. A little bit of a drinks break for the players. A bit of tactical info as Ucheg Boulam was treated with his shoulder. It seems like he'll be okay. And the ball's been kicked forward. It's a curler. Midway inside the Rochdale half. Header won by John at left back. And it's now out to Sinclair. Heavy touch gives the ball away. And there's some battling here. And the referee allows play to continue. Sinclair nearly brings it away. But it's cleared by Williams. And in the end, Sinclair wins a free kick. Just towards the halfway line off Liam Mandeville. And it's now with George Nevitt as Rochdale build from the back. Midway inside their own half. He goes to his right to Ebanks Landell. He previously had a loan at Rochdale from January to May in 2019 when they were in League One, but then joined for a second spell and permanently from Shrewsbury last season. It's now Ryan East, who's just dropped in between the 2 centre-backs for the ball. And he's just playing with Nevitt and Ebanks Landell. As it's now with the goalkeeper, Louis Molden, who will go long. Diagonal ball out to the left, looking for Sinclair. Headed out to the left to Mitchell. To John, and it will roll out for a throw as it came off a Chesterfield man last. It's now taken quickly, and it's already back to the halfway line to Ebanks Landell, who's looking to the right-hand side. And you'll find Oduro. Ebanks Landell, ball forward. Takes it on the turn here, Gilmore. Good play into Ucheg Boulam, whose touch allows a tackle from Freckleton, and it'll be a corner kick for Rochdale on their right-hand side, just on the near side here. Good play from Ucheg Boulam, who looks to be a lot better and looks a lot more comfortable after that little shoulder problem he had a few minutes ago. And it'll be a left-footed in-swinger here from Ryan East, who's on loan for the season from Bradford City, who are in League 2. It's his first season playing in non-league, and he plays a short one to Clayton. He gets the return, and he plays it to an on-rushing Oduro, who gets a swinging crossing. It's met by a volley from Tyrese Sinclair. There's asks and questions for a corner, but it's going to be a goal kick. Good ball in there from Oduro, who'd got forward from the back to help with the corner kick set piece. Poor volley, though, by Sinclair in the end in the box. Just didn't get his foot round it. And Chesterfield play from the back. In their 18-yard box with Grimes, the captain. Can't find a ball out wide left to Dobra. Out for a Rochdale throw-in. Midway inside the Chesterfield half. So they need to start doing a bit more, Rochdale. Winning the ball up high in the Chesterfield half if possible. Because they are liking that ball over the top. Try to catch them in behind. Beating the offside trap, which they did for the goal through Cairo Mitchell. And he's done it a few times since then. Clayton takes it off the goalkeeper here with the pass. And it keeps the ball moving to East as we're in the Rochdale half here. Never long over the top ball down the Rochdale left. Chested down by Sinclair and he keeps it away from Mandeville. He does slip, but then straight back on his feet to keep the ball. Great play here from Sinclair. In the final third on the left-hand side. Goes to his right to Clayton. Laid off to East. Back out left to Sinclair, who's running at Jones. Goes for a switch out to the right and he finds Ucheg Bulam. Great ball here. Good play from Rochdale. When Ucheg Bulam twisting and turning, just playing the simple ball back towards halfway to Clayton. Forward to Gilmore. Now back into their own half with centre half Ebanks Landell, who plays a great ball in between the lines to find East and he pokes it through to Ucheg Bulam. On the right, chops inside, tries a roulette. Can't quite get away from Dobra on the edge of the box and it's Chesterfield to win the ball and clear it up the field towards halfway where it's flicked on to the left by Quigley to Colclough. In the left wing position here in the final third. 1-on-1 with Ebanks Landell. Can he take on the big centre half? He tries to, again twisting and turning, but just plays a simple ball back to Dobra. Inside to his right to Jones. He's going to try the right side here as he plays it here to Williams. To right back Mandeville. He's usually a winger, so he is good at attacking the makeshift full back. And he's got the ball here, midway inside the Rochdale half. Ball forward and out to the right here to Jacobs. Signed this season from Portsmouth. Back to Mandeville. Lifts the ball into the box and it's volleyed by Naylor right to the back post where it's had to be chested behind by Oduro. I'm not sure if that was a shot or a cross from Naylor, but he went right across the 6-yard box in towards the far post where Colclough was looking to get on the end of it. But it was good defending by Oduro in the end. But another corner here for Chesterfield. The two centre-backs are up there, Williams and Grimes. There, 2 goals have come from headers in the 6-yard box. They go short again to Dobra. Lays it back into Mandeville. He's just entered the box here on the left. Crossing with the left. No, chops back towards his right. Lays it off to Dobra, who wants to cross. He gets onto his right foot himself and plays it to Mandeville on the edge of the box. Can't quite work the cross yet. There's no space for it, but he keeps the ball moving. But pass back to Freckleton. Back out to the left. Great ball here to Dobra. He's overlapped him. Jacobs, and he gets it. Cuts in. Back out onto his left. Crosses, and it's into the hands of Malden. He wants to try and set up a counter-attack for Rochdale, but the right run's not been made. And he holds on to it for now. And then he kicks it long up towards Mitchell. Header won, though, by Jones for Chesterfield. Forward to Dobra. Out to the left again to Colclough, who's onside. Enters the box. Pulls it back to the edge of the box where Naylor can't get there ahead of East. And he plays it forward towards Gilmore, who can't find Ucheg Bulam. Won by a slide challenger for Eccleton. Out to the left of Jacobs. Outside of the boot ball. Headed back to him by a defensive header from Rochdale. Freckleton just about works it out to the left again to Jacobs. It goes back here in the end to Jones. The midfielder is 36 years old, just played under 500 appearances between his games in League 1 and League 2. That's where he played a lot of his career. So it's not a bad level in the English game as he gives the ball away here in the midfield in the centre circle where it's Rochdale to get it out to the left now to Sinclair. He's got East overlapping in front of him. He won't use the defender getting forward and he gives it away, try to drive inside. Tackled by Jones, who regains the ball for Chesterfield. He goes back to his goalkeeper here, Tyra. Forward to Naylor on the edge of the box, then cleared by Williams. Into the Rochdale half it goes. Oduro will give chase to it. One of the changes tonight from the starting 11 at Dorking at the weekend. It's now with Malden. Pass forward, and it just about gets to Clayton, who plays it out wide to Oduro. Who plays a lifted ball over the top, not sure who he's looking for. And it'll run right through to the Chesterfield goalkeeper. Not good enough there by Oduro, who's on loan from Derby County. Joined Manchester City at under 9s level before leaving for Derby in 2022. And there he is, the new head coach, Jimmy McNulty. Was caretaker a couple times last season in their relegation campaign. But now he's there full time now. After some good results at the back end of last season, despite it not being enough to keep them up, he did get some decent results at the end of the season, winning quite a few home games. At the back end of last season, Rochdale picking up 12 points from available 24 at the end of last season, winning 3, drawing 3 and losing 2. That was in the last 8 games of the season. There's Nevitt, plays it forward for Rochdale, and it's brought down here by Gilmore, pokes it out to the far left to Sinclair, who's still inside the Rochdale half, as Chesterfield still press high, and concede a throw in there through Cameron John's pass forward, and it came off Quigley last. He's not quite been involved as much as probably Paul Cook would like. Joe Quigley, the Chesterfield striker tonight, who is an absolute journeyman for the National League. He's played for so many clubs in the National League so far in his career. Joe Quigley, the striker, he's played for Chesterfield, Yeovil, Dagenham and Redbridge, Woking, Havant and Waterlooville, Boreham Wood, Maidstone, Torquay, Bromley and Wrexham. 10 teams he's played for in the National League so far in his career, Joe Quigley, the 26-year-old target man. As it's still Rochdale on the ball, with a switch out to the left by Nevitt. The 17-year-old miscues it. Out it goes for a throw-in for Chesterfield for right-back Liam Mandeville, midway inside his own half. Couldn't quite find Tyrese Sinclair there with the ball out to the left-hand side. Still 2-1. Decent game so far in the 5th tier of English football. Malden. Sorry, that is Tyra. To Mandeville at right back, as Chesterfield are having to do some playing out of the back of their own, and that's completely taken out of the handbook there. Tyrone Williams just clearing it long from the back for Chesterfield, getting him up the field. So it's back with Rochdale, with Louis Malden. Forward to the edge of the box to Ryan East, and out to the left centre-back George Nevitt, who just plays it simple back to his own goalkeeper here, Louis Malden, who was on loan at Solihull last season before being recalled in January. Former with Manchester City himself. Louis Malden for 5 years, 2016 to 2021, where he won 1 Premier League 2 title, where he made a couple of appearances that year, and his long ball forward just straight back through to the Chesterfield goalkeeper Harry Tyra, who on his loan spell at Chester last season in the National League North won Young Player of the Year, where they got to the playoff semi-finals. Tyrone Williams at the back for Chesterfield, chopping in his defensive third and playing it back to Tyra, who clears it quite hurriedly out towards the Chesterfield right. Header won though by East, played forward here, and it now finds Mitchell, lays it off to Gilmore on the edge, fancies a strike, he does shoot, it drops in the end to John, pulls it back towards Mitchell, header won though by Naylor, still in the box of Rochdale's Ucheg Boulam tries to strike, he doesn't quite catch it in the box there, and it's an easy save for Harry Tyra. Not a bad attack there for Rochdale. Once again, Cameron John getting forward. Gilmore's first strike was deflected. Then it came off the head there of Tom Naylor, I believe. And in the end, it dropped for a Ucheg Boulam shot, which wasn't the greatest. It's now Chesterfield again. Jacobs down the right channel. He finds Quigley, holds it up and plays it. And now Mandeville out towards the left to Colclough. Great interception midway inside his own half there by Oduro, the wing back. It's now back with Rochdale with their goalkeeper Malden. 6'3" goalkeeper. Just about clears it away from Colclough up towards halfway where Sinclair wins the header, but he's fouled Mandeville there on halfway. It'll be a free kick for Chesterfield. Sinclair feels like he's been unfairly done by the referee, but the decision still stands. There'll be a free kick for the Spyrites, as there will be 4 minutes added on, as I can just see the 4th official's board there, even though we've still got 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play of the 45, as it's out to the left back Freckleton for Chesterfield on halfway. Back he goes to Jamie Grimes. He's played over 100 games now for Chesterfield, the captain. Williams, ball down the right channel over the top of the defence towards the byline, and it'll be a cross into the box for Chesterfield, and it's cleared by Rochdale up towards halfway, where it'll be brought down by Gilmore, who offers too much of it to Grimes, and it's well won back by the captain. And Naylor will send it out to the left for Chesterfield, but it's cut out again by Oduro. But the header goes only as far as Dobra, who charges forward towards the edge of the box, tries to cut back, but he's tackled there by Uçek, who will dribble away from Dobra, but he'll still be pressured by the Albanian, and he can't get away from him because he's been pulled back by Dobra, and it'll be a free kick for Rochdale in the right back area, given away by Armando Dobra, who got the goal scoring underway in the 7th minute through a header, scoring his 2nd goal of the season. He got 7 last season, Armando Dobra, including 1 in the playoff final, giving them the lead in extra time. It was a great shot, curled to the far right corner, but obviously wasn't enough for them to get promoted. As we're about to hit the 45th minute, free kick for Rochdale in the right back area, taken by their goalkeeper. It's a big kick down the right hand side, looking for Uçek, but it goes beyond him and it'll roll out for a throw-in for Chesterfield, right towards the corner flag. So a chance for Rochdale to push up the field here. And there is the 4 minutes indicated by 4th official William Davis. And it'll be a throw-in here for Chesterfield. I think it'll be a long one, will it? As he re-emerges towards the near side here. Miguel Freckleton. It will be a long throwing down the line. Helped on by Quigley. Drops in the end to Naylor. Back to Freckleton, the throwing taker. And he'll have another one to take as his clearance up the field is blocked by Uçek. There are both head coach and gaffers on the sideline there. Jimmy McNulty, 38 years of age, the head coach of Rochdale, and Paul Cook, who's 56 years old, retired central midfielder. Started his managerial career in successes with Sligo Rovers. Spent 5 years over there in Ireland from 2007 to 2012. Paul Cook winning 2 cups and a League Cup while in Ireland. And his team's got some defending to do here as they lose out from the throw-in. It's now out to the left to Sinclair for Rochdale. Feeds the overlapper John in the box. Gets the ball across. It's a header won by Jamie Grimes. It'll come back out to John, the man who put the cross in the first time. And it's now with Sinclair, who's tackled fairly by Mandeville. And it'll go for a Rochdale throw-in towards the final third here. So chance to equalise before half-time. But they do throw it back towards Nevitt on halfway. So Chesterfield push up the field. It's now with centre-back Ebanks Landell. Short ball to his left to Nevitt. Just about gets it forward on halfway to Clayton. Now to Ebanks Landell again. Goes for that switch out to the left. Try to get it beyond Liam Mandeville, but he sees the ball all the way to his head. And he heads it back to his goalkeeper. Good defensive work there by number 7, Liam Mandeville. Who's currently on his 5th season now with Chesterfield. Signed on a free from Doncaster 4 years ago. As it's Tyra to send the ball forward for Chesterfield. It bounces right through to the 18-yard box where Colclough will chase it. But it'll be caught there by Louis Malden after it was seen through by Ebanks Landell. I think it'll be a big goal kick here for Louis Malden as we've just got under 2 minutes left to play this first half. An eventful first half at the Crown Oil Arena. Big kick out of his hands here by Malden. Into the Chesterfield half it goes towards Gilmore, where he tries to flick it on, but it's header won by Jones. As far as Oduro, whose header back forward only drops as far as Naylor. Out to the left now to Dobra. Just about enters the Chesterfield half. Down the left-hand side, goes back into his own half, a pass to Freckleton. Then across to his right now to Grimes. And then back once more to Tyra. Clears the ball forward. Down the Chesterfield right, it goes beyond John. And kept in. No, it's not kept in by Jacobs on the Chesterfield right there. Midway inside the Rochdale half. Couldn't quite keep it in, the former Portsmouth man. That's now with goalkeeper Malden. Left-footed clearance for Rochdale. Down their left-hand side. Brought down by Mitchell. And he finds Sinclair on halfway. Plays a ball simply to his right to East. Then to Clayton. Tries to work it back out to the left to Sinclair. Who chests it down nicely. 10 yards inside the Chesterfield half. Runs back into his own half to keep away from the Chesterfield pressure. And he plays a simple ball back to Nevitt, who wants to switch out to the right. He'll play a ball over the top. Penny can't be brought down by Uçek. Tries to bring it down in the final third there, but he was offside anyway. Jesurin Uçek sorry. Yeah, just offside as Nevitt played the ball forward. Uçek. And Jimmy McNulty is frustrated. It is a little bit of a sloppy free kick to give away there from the offside. Shouldn't really be being caught offside in that sort of situation. It'll be a free kick taken by Harry Tyra. We've played the 4 minutes of added time. The referee continues play for now as his free kick is helped on by Quigley, chased down again by Colclough, and it's seen through by Louis Malden. The goalkeeper has the ball in his hands. We've played the 4 minutes. Big kick up the field into the Chesterfield half. His play carries on for now. Ball headed forward by Jones. All as far as the halfway line, where it's Oduro for Rochdale. Plays it into Clayton. Tries to go over the top towards Mitchell. Midway inside the Chesterfield half, but it's cut out. All as far as Nevitt in the Rochdale half. He's been forced all the way back by Quigley due to his press. And it's now cleared forward and long by Louis Malden. Looking for Mitchell. Brought down by Tyrone Williams and cleared by the Chesterfield defender. Good defending from Williams. But again, the clearance. Can't find an orange shirt as Colclough has been found to be in an offside position again. So, free kick for Rochdale just towards the halfway line. Just about 5 yards inside the Rochdale half. Again, Colclough being caught offside. Not great for the Chesterfield left winger tonight. It'll be Clayton to send this forward. They'll look to try and get it in the Chesterfield box here. It'll have to be a big kick forward from the halfway line. But he'll switch it towards the Rochdale left. Can't be helped on by Nevitt. Flicked on by Naylor and cleared in the end by Chesterfield towards halfway. And that is where the referee will blow for half-time. 3 goals so far. It's 1 for Rochdale and 2 for the Wayside Chesterfield tonight. And the goal scoring started in the 7th minute of the game. Albanian Armando Dobra scored his 2nd goal of the season. Scoring his 2nd since their 1-0 away win at Ebbsfleet. Free header in the box. It deflected off one post across the goal and bounced off the other post and eventually dropped behind that white line into the net for Chesterfield to take an early lead. And then only in the 13th minute, so 6 minutes later, Cairo Mitchell equalised for Rochdale, and Nevitt, who had the ball at the back for Rochdale, just inside his own half, played a defence-splitting pass right through the Chesterfield team to find Mitchell in behind, who let the ball run through so he could take the strike first time, right down the centre of the goal. It's poor goalkeeping, but it's an equaliser for Rochdale, and that equaliser was cut out in the 26th minute, where Chesterfield retook the lead. It was a corner taken short by Mandeville. He got the return and put a curling, in-swinging ball into the 6-yard box, and another free header in that box for Chesterfield, this time with Tom Naylor, and the midfielder headed home from the 6-yard box. It was a free header. It was a well-delivered cross, a well-delivered header into the net for his 4th goal of the season, and at half-time it is Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 2. Really good advert for the National League tonight so far. It's been a cracking opening 45 minute at the Crown Oil Arena at Rochdale, where before kick-off, 7th place Rochdale was taking on top place Chesterfield, and so far with this result, the positions do remain the same. Rochdale stay 7th, but Aldershot are only 1 point behind them, who are currently winning tonight. Chesterfield continue their 5-point streak at the top, with Solihull also winning, who are in 2nd. So Chesterfield keep their 5-point lead. This will be 7 wins in a row for Chesterfield. They've scored 14 in their last 5 games. But 7 wins in a row would be fantastic for Chesterfield, where they had a few good runs themselves at the back end of last season. Throughout last season, Chesterfield, they went their first 10 games of the season with 0 defeats, winning 7 and drawing 3. From a run from October to January, they only lost 1 in 11, but that was followed by a horrific run which put them out of the title race. And if this run hadn't happened, they might have been a bit closer to the likes of Notts County and Wrexham. They went 9 without a win after their fantastic run between October and January. They went 9 without a win. They drew 3 and lost 6, which really put them behind the top 2. Which meant they could only finish as high as 3rd last season. But I was just having a look at previous years, because obviously the last few years with Wrexham, Notts County, Stockport County and all those sides hitting such high amounts of points. Last season, Chesterfield got 84 points. 3 or 4 seasons ago in the 2020-2021 season, when Sutton was promoted as champions from the National League They finished with 84 points, I believe, or 84 points would have been enough for Chesterfield to have won the league that season, which just shows you the quality the National League have had in the last few seasons with, as I mentioned, Notts County, Wrexham, Stockport County, those kind of teams who were in the division, just hitting the high 90s and the early hundreds with their points. So in previous years, that 84 points from Chesterfield would have been good enough to have won the league, but not the last few campaigns. But maybe this year with not as many big hitters in the National League as there have been in the previous couple of seasons. But it is 2-1 at half-time. I'll go through the other National League results as this one did kick off 15 minutes later. So the other games would have already kicked off for the second half or are kicking off for the second half. And we'll go through the League Cup scores as well. As Burnley are 3-0 up away from home at Salford. Exeter and Luton are still 0-0. Ipswich are 2-2 at home to Wolves. Mansfield are trailing at home to Peterborough 2-1. Bradford still trail against Middlesbrough at home 1-0 against the Championship side under Michael Carrick. Port Vale have taken the lead against Sutton United, and Manchester United are 2-0 up at home against Crystal Palace in the League Cup. Garnacho and Casemiro with the goals for the Red Devils there, who look to try and build on their win away from home at the weekend against Burnley. Great strike, wasn't it, from Bruno Fernandes as well. Superb volley. Let's go through the other National League results now, as they start to kick off for the second half. Let's have a look here. So Hartlepool are trailing to second place Solihull Moors by 2-0. Bromley lead Eastleigh 1-0 at home. Maidenhead and Altrincham are 0-0. Fylde and Borehamwood are 1-1. Halifax and Dagenham and Redbridge is goalless. Oxford City trail to Gateshead at home 1-0. York and Barnet are 1-1. Aldershot lead Southend at 1-0. Kidderminster trail to Oldham at home by 1-0. Wealdstone, who were beaten by Chesterfield at the weekend, lead Woking 1-0, and Ebbsfleet and Dorking, who played Rochdale at the weekend, they are both drawing with each other 0-0. So they're the National League results and the League Cup results. If any goals go in any of the games, I will keep you all updated as we just wait through this half-time break, as it is Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 2. 2 headed goals in the 6-yard box for Chesterfield. Some questions to be asked of the Rochdale defending, but their attacking hasn't been too bad. Their goal was great, with a ball through by Nevitt to Mitchell, who took it on first time, scoring his 4th goal of the season after joining in the summer from Notts County. As the second half will be getting underway soon. Thank you to everyone who's here. If you could like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. As Middlesbrough have doubled their lead away at Bradford, the League 2 side. So it's 2-0 now to Middlesbrough in the 55th minute. Well worked down the right for Chesterfield from the throw-in for the first goal, and it was a great cross-in by Michael Jacobs, who has previously scored against Rochdale 3 times in the 5 previous times he's played them. This time he was the creator and the assister, with a cross on the byline to Dobra, who's on his own, gets in between Ebanks, Landell and Oduro. Sorry, I can't say the guy's name. Kwaku Oduro. And just headed it off the far post. It went right across off the near post and then behind the line, and it went in as a goal. And then for the equaliser, George Nevitt, straight through the Chesterfield team. I can't describe how good of a pass it was. Just inside his own half towards the centre circle. It was a left-footed ball right through the centre of the pitch. Cairo Mitchell had got through. He'd got in between both centre-backs of Williams and Grimes. And before either defender could put a tackle in to stop him from shooting, he'd already pulled the trigger, got the shot away with his right foot just on the edge of the box and played it under the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. Really good from George Nevitt. As I've mentioned a few times before, 17 years old, the Rochdale defender, born in February of 2006, which is quite scary, to be quite frank. For the Welshman, And then again for Chesterfield, just exploiting Rochdale's weaknesses, defending crosses. Great curling ball from Liam Mandeville, who scored 3 times this season. All of the 3 coming in the first 2 games, but this time he makes himself the provider with a great cross in for Tom Naylor, who headed home, and it was pretty much an unstoppable header for Louis Molden, the Rochdale goal, because Tom Naylor was just so close. Tom Naylor, who's got great league experience. He has previously played in this division with Grimsby in the 2012-2013 season, but he's back now with Chesterfield. He had won the League One title not long ago with Wigan, a couple of seasons ago back in 2022. He scored 3 times that season in 43 League One appearances. So he's got Football League calibre, and he's going to try and help Chesterfield get back there this season. Was unfortunately sent off in their win against Halifax, but it's returned tonight with a goal. As 4 of the top 5 in the National League are winning their games. Chesterfield are winning, obviously, as we're covering here. Solihull Moors are 2-0 up. Barnet are drawing 1-1, but then Gateshead and Bromley are also winning with the last 2 playoff spots, 6th and 7th. Hartlepool and Rochdale, they're both losing their games. As we're closing in on the resumption of this National League fixture between Rochdale and Chesterfield at the Crown Oil Arena. Dorking take the lead away at Ebbsfleet. And if you haven't watched the YouTube series on Dorking Wanderers, it's on Bunch of Amateurs channel, it's called Bunch of Amateurs. Make sure you check that out. It is a real insight into just how, in particular Dorking Wanderers operate as a non-league side, and their owner, chairman, manager, he's everything. Mark White. He is a character. He's really it depends. He's really likeable, or you could find him really annoying. It depends what kind of person, what kind of personalities you like. But I really like him, Mark White. He's the manager. He's the owner of the club, so he does both. Ends of the spectrum for the club's workings. And there's loads of episodes. I think they've been doing episodes on them for 2-3 seasons now. That channel called Bunch of Amateurs. Make sure you check it out. It's a great watch to kind of get an insight of how, non-league football works on match days. But they lead 1-0. They've already played Chesterfield, Dorking Wanderers. It was on the first game of the season where Chesterfield won the game against them in the 100th minute. One of their 4 injury time winners this season for Chesterfield. 4-3 they won it in the end, Chesterfield, but a 100th minute winner. That is devastating. If we go through that game, it was the opening game of the season for the both sides. Chesterfield went 1-0 up in the 23rd minute, and then it went to 2-1 to Dorking in the 53rd minute. 2 goals from Jason Pryor, and then Chesterfield went 3-2 up themselves with a brace from Mandeville. In the 82nd minute, they were 3-2 up, and then Bowerman for Dorking put them at 3-3 with 10 men. They had 10 men from the 81st minute. So you'd think, 93rd minute equaliser, 10 men, buzzing, what a result. And then Joe Quigley, who's up front tonight for Chesterfield, 100th minute, broke the hearts of Chesterfield and of Dorking, and snatched the winner. So that seemed like an entertaining game. There've been a lot of entertaining games for Chesterfield, as I mentioned before. They've now scored 31 goals in the National League this season in their opening 12 games, and they've also conceded 20 goals. So far this season, there's been 51 goals in 12 games in Chesterfield matches, which is absolutely crazy. But, they're clearly outscoring their opponents. They're currently on 10 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss if this result stays the same. So, even though Paul Cook, the manager, might have questions of his defence, why they're leaking in so many, but if you're outscoring your opponents, then it's not really the end of the world, is it? It's when you're stopping scoring, when the goals dry up and you're still conceding loads of goals. That's when you're going to have problems. But if you're winning 10 out of your first 12 games and you're, conceding a lot but you're scoring more, I don't think you can complain, really. And I don't think Paul Cook is, as his side sit top of the National League. As Ipswich take the lead against Wolverhampton Wanderers. They actually went 2-0 down, Ipswich, in the 15 minutes, and they've gone forward and gone up 3-2. Hutchinson, Ladapo and Taylor with the goals for Ipswich, who are currently being led by Kieran McKenna, former coach of Manchester United. And they currently sit second, joint top with Leicester, with 7 wins and 1 loss in their opening 8. So Kieran McKenna is really making the magic work there at Ipswich, and they're currently leading Wolves in the EFL Cup third round. As this National League fixture will resume in a minute or two time. As Gateshead in those playoff spots take a 2-0 lead at Oxford City, who are currently 19th in the National League. And that's very soon. We'll be back underway for the second half between Rochdale and Chesterfield. I said in the pre-match build-up, but some of you might not have been here, their relegation last season for Rochdale ended their 102-year stay in the Football League, and it's been quite depressing for them. I think sometimes relegation's good for teams to just get the confidence back in the fans, to get the belief. Because last season they finished 24th. The season before that they were 18th in League 2. Season before that they were relegated from League 1 in 21st. Then season before they were relegated they finished 19th, then 16th, then 20th. So their last season where they actually finished high in the league was 9th in League 1 back in 2017. That's 6 years ago now. So hopefully in the 5th tier they can have a really solid season where they get lots of wins under their belt there. Fans have something to celebrate, and hopefully they can try and get promoted through the playoffs possibly, as it is still only one automatic spot, I believe, in the National League. This season, the league title winners go up automatically, then the rest are playoffs. As both sets of players are back out on the field, it'll be Chesterfield kicking left to right, Rochdale right to left. Chesterfield will kick off. And who will take home the points? Will it be shared? Will Chesterfield continue their attacking prowess and get more goals? We'll wait and see. As Quigley from the right side heads in inside, it's cleared by Clayton, and it'll be Mitchell to give chase towards the 18-yard box for Chesterfield, and it goes right through to their goalkeeper here, Harry Tyra. And it'll be Chesterfield in possession as he rolls it out to the left back, Freckleton. Goes across to his captain, Grimes. Forward here to Naylor. Back to Grimes on the edge of the box. Out to the right back, Mandeville. Lifted ball over the top down the right-hand side where Quigley comes out to the right again to chase it, and he'll get there ahead of Nevitt on the edge of the 18-yard box. Goes across here to Dobra, who tries to play it on once more to Jacobs, who can't avoid the goal kick. Armando Dobra is furious with himself as he got the ball on the edge of the box. He just tried to play it into the path of Michael Jacobs, but it was overhit. And it went out for a goal kick. Taken quickly by Malden. Out to Oduro, the wing back. Inside to Clayton, midway side his own half. Finds Ryan East to the edge of his box now to George Nevitt. Forward again to Clayton, the two central midfielders. Both were at Bradford last season. Adam Clayton left on a permanent for Rochdale, and Ryan East is out here on loan for the season. As midway inside the Chesterfield half, Rochdale win a throw-in. It's Ucheg Bulam with the ball. The right winger running down the line towards the final third, everything to his left. Just goes behind him to Oduro. So back to halfway now to Banks Landell. Simple ball to his left now to Nevitt. He's been forced back to his own goalkeeper in his box. To Malden. He's been pressed by Quigley. Clears it up the field. It's a big ball. It's a high one up towards Ucheg Bulam. Headed down by Freckleton to Colclough on the Chesterfield left. Then he's won a free kick there off Oduro. It'll be a free kick for Chesterfield on their left-hand side just inside their own half. And it'll be taken by left back Miguel Freckleton, the 21-year-old, who spent last season on 2 separate loans at Wealdstone and Yeovil. The ball's gone high up towards Quigley, loses out of a tackle from Sinclair. It's back to Rochdale in their own 18-yard box. Through Malden, forward to the edge of the box now to Clayton, being pressed by Naylor. But he goes to his left now in the left back area to Nevitt. Down the line to John. Forward and inside to the halfway line to Mitchell. Poor touch, he allows the clearance from Tyrone Williams at the back for Chesterfield, but his clearance can't find an orange shirt. It's now back in Rochdale possession with their goalkeeper Malden. Big ball into the Chesterfield half, header won by Williams and brought down by Jones. Halfway inside his own half for Chesterfield. He's been pressed here by Gilmore, who commits the foul, just harassing Mike Jones a little bit too much there for the referee's liking. Harvey Gilmore. It's a free kick for Chesterfield, midway inside their own half with Tyrone Williams, who can also play at right back, playing centre half tonight for Chesterfield. Tyrone Williams making his 8th appearance of the season. He started their last 5 now in the league. That's the poor ball forward by Freckleton. It's been given away. It's now out to the left now for Rochdale to Sinclair, just behind him. So it slows the attack down. And Chesterfield can get plays behind the ball as Cameron John gets forward from fullback. Out on the left, goes inside to East. 1-2 with Clayton, still out on the Rochdale left there. Forward to Cameron John. Goes back again to Ryan East, who's not being pressed here, so he can have some time on the ball on the halfway line. And lays it off into George Nevitt. Head up, going for a switch towards the Rochdale right. It's a high one. It's a header won by Miguel Freckleton. On that far side, Rochdale will win a throw-in. With Oduro. Throws it back into his own half of Ebanks Landell. Just under 5 minutes into the second half. So Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 2. As Ebanks Landell dinks a ball down the Rochdale right. It's brought down by Ucheg Bulam. He tries to take on Freckleton, but the heavy touch means he runs out of pitch. And it's a throw-in for Chesterfield. Quite deep inside their own half. So they've got to try and get it forward here. The Spy Rights. Poor Cook there holding a hot beverage in a Costa coffee mug or a cup there. The former Wigan and Ipswich manager, and the Wigan as well. Wigan, Ipswich, Portsmouth as well. Poor Cook, previous clubs, as he loses the ball his side from the throw-in. He's now back in the Rochdale defence with Nevitt. Goes to his right here to Ebanks Landell. Out to the far right-hand side to Oduro, gives it away to Dobra. Inside his own half, and Chesterfield can get forward to their left winger Colclough. 1-on-1 with Ebanks Landell, goes on the outside, plays the ball into the box. It's cleared by Nevitt, all as far as the edge of the box to Naylor, who sends it into the box of a high ball, which has been headed away by Cameron John. Mitchell will give chase up front for Rochdale, but it's held back forward by Tyrone Williams. Headed forward by John, but it's not convincing. It's won back by Chesterfield, with Jacobs in the centre of the park. Finds Dobra to his left, tries to play ball through him behind for Colclough, but it deflects back towards Dobra, who's brought down on the edge of the box, but no free kick's been given. It's cleared away by Rochdale. With Oduro on the ball, he nearly overruns it, but he just about clears it forward to Ucheg Bulam, who then plays it off into Ebanks Landell, who will then clear in a right-back area into the Chesterfield half. Header won though by Grimes. And it's a free kick won just inside the Rochdale half there. Can't quite see who it's won by because the screen's been split into 2, showing a Barnett goal at York, 3-1. So Chesterfield have the ball with Harry Tyra on loan till the end of the season from Everton. In his 18-yard box. Plays it to the left centre half, Jamie Grimes. Dinks the ball out to the left towards Colclough, slips on it, and it comes off Oduro last. And it'll be a throw-in for Chesterfield. Taken by left-back Freckleton, who's starting his 5th game in a row now. The loanee from Sheffield United, as a free kick's been given to Chesterfield on the halfway line, pushing the back on Dobra, the goal scorer of the first goal tonight. Mandeville ball inside in the halfway line to Jones. Gets the return. Swinging ball in behind. Looking for Quigley, who will get there, nearly got there ahead of Nevitt, but he was offside as Liam Mandeville played the ball in behind. So free kick for Rochdale, given by referee Michael Barlow. As those Chesterfield fans who have made the hour-and-a-half car drive into Rochdale will be best pleased with the results so far, but the game's not done yet. Still got a lot of the second half to play as we're 52 minutes in. It's with Rochdale inside their own half. All Chesterfield players currently behind the ball as Ebanks-Landell has it and sends the ball in behind the Chesterfield defence. Runs right through to the goalkeeper because no one for Rochdale was chasing that ball. It was well overhit by the captain. And it's into the hands of Harry Tyrer in the Chesterfield goal. And he rolls it out to left centre-back Jamie Grimes on the edge of the box. And he goes back into Harry Tyrer. Williams at right centre-half towards the right-back area. He clips the ball forward towards Quigley. Tries to bring it down midway inside the Rochdale half. But it's been won back by Rochdale by their two centre-backs as they play out from the back and play it forward here to Gilmore. Tries to slip it in behind for Mitchell. But sweeper keeper Tyrer comes to clear. It will go for a throw-in for Rochdale, just inside their own half. Unlucky there from Gilmore, trying to split this Chesterfield defence, but it was just overhit. And Cairo Mitchell, the former Chesterfield man, couldn't quite get there ahead of the goalkeeper. That's now midway inside the Rochdale half with Ryan East out to left back. Cameron John. Never at the back for Rochdale. He likes the diagonal balls in the air. Decides to not go for it that time and just play a simple ball to his centre-back partner, Ebanks-Landell. Plays it forward to Mitchell. Lays it off to the right to Gilmore. Out to the right to Ucheg Bulim. One-on-one with Freckleton in the box. Pulls it back. Clayton with a dinked cross into the box. And it's straight into the hands of the goalkeeper in the 6-yard area. Good play that from Rochdale. Getting out to the right-hand side. It was a good pullback in the end by Ucheg Bulim, who found Clayton. But I think he just tried to clip it in the box towards Mitchell. But it was nowhere near the Rochdale striker. And it's an easy caught ball for Harry Tyrer, who sends the ball long up towards Quigley. Chests it down the target man striker and lays it off to Jones in the centre circle. Flicks out to the left, looking for Ryan Colclough. Can't take it under control. Throwing for Rochdale, it's been taken quickly. It's back to the right back area to Oduro. Then forward by Ebanks-Landell to Clayton. Out to the right again. Midway inside their own half. Oduro into Ebanks-Landell. He wanted a long ball forward, but he plays it short instead to Clayton, who's just ahead of him. Then there's the switch out to the left. It's chested down by Sinclair and then fed through down the left to John, whose hamstring goes. Oh, that's devastating for Cameron John. The ball was switched out to the left there to Tyrese Sinclair, and from fullback, Cameron John made a bursting run forward, trying to catch the ball as it was going towards the byline. Didn't want the ball to go for a goal kick. And as he was chasing it, he pulls up, holding the left hamstring. And that is his game done, and possibly a pause and a hold on his season. Might be out for a little while if that's a serious hamstring pull. He's not been that bad as well, Cameron John, down that left-hand side. Has had a lot of energy. And he's actually featured, this is a little bit of a wild fact, but he was actually on a Beta Squad video. And basically, Beta Squad, if you don't know, are quite a big British YouTube group where they make videos as a group. One of them was Guess the Footballer. So there was a group of about 5 or 6 people, and they basically had to ask questions and make them do certain things, and they had to guess who was the footballer. And Cameron John was the footballer on that video, and it featured Trent Alexander-Arnold. So that has quite a few million views. And he was featured on that video, the 24-year-old, and he's making his 11th appearance this season. It's 11 starts for him. He only played one on the bench where he didn't come on. That was against Woking in the 3rd game of the season. But other than that, he's played and started all the games. But as we get a pause in the game as Cameron John receives treatment, it will be a change that will have to be made for Rochdale. is devastating for Cameron John, as he will have to be substituted here for Jimmy Keohane, number 13 for Rochdale, Irish international. Can play down the centre and out wide as well, so let's see what kind of system change we get here from Jimmy McNulty, the Rochdale head coach. It's Manchester United go 3-0 up at Old Trafford. Anthony Martial with the goal. It will be a goal kick. And it will be... Try to see who's where at the minute. As the ball goes up towards Cairo Mitchell up front for Rochdale. He loses out momentarily from Tyrone Williams. And he shifts the ball on for Chesterfield. So the Spyrites have the ball out to the left to Colclough. Takes on one man, but runs out of room on the Chesterfield left on that far side. So it will be a throw-in for Rochdale. Try to see what system they're going for here. I think it's the same. It's Jimmy Keohane to just go in at left back for Rochdale. I think he is a right-footed player, but can use both. Been at the club since January of 2019. Jimmy Keohane, the Irishman, signed from Cork City in Ireland. Had started 10 of the previous 11 games this season, but he dropped to the bench tonight, and now he's on due to injury. And Nevitt tries to play a ball through in behind again for Cairo Mitchell, up front for Rochdale, but it's overhit and it's collected by Harry Tyra. So we'll have a bit of time added on at the end of this game due to that injury. It's at the left back now for Freckleton. Ball inside to Dobry, takes it on the turn and plays it across to the edge of the box to Tyrone Williams, who'll go to his right back, Mandeville. Down the line, can't find Jacobs. Played forward by Keohane. Rolling as far as Mandeville at right back. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Tyra, who sends a thumping ball forward beyond the halfway line, looking for Joe Quigley, who will bring it down and will get there on halfway. And will start an attack for Chesterfield as he plays it out to the left towards Colclough. He gives him something to chase and he will get there, the former Altrincham man, towards the corner flag, cutting onto his right foot in the box, corner of the box. Goes to his right to Jacobs, back out to the left to Freckleton. Now Dobra, as Rochdale get man back now. And the attack just simmers down slightly. As Dobra on the far left, midway inside the Rochdale half. He's been forced to go back to the halfway line to Grimes. Then back forward again, great ball by Grimes. Colclough gets the ball. Can't quite get there ahead of Ebanks Landell. And it'll be cleared in the right back area for Rochdale, but headed back forward by Grimes. Only as far as Clayton, who tries to play forward. Deflects off Jones. Only as far as Keohane. It's now Rochdale again just inside their own half with Adam Clayton on the ball. Former Premier League footballer with Middlesbrough 6 seasons ago. Ucheg Bulam lays it off to Oduro. Rochdale have possession in their own half with Nevitt. Switch out to the right towards Ucheg Bulam, who will get there ahead of Freckleton towards the corner flag on the far side. He's going to stand him up here one-on-one. Who will get the better? He'll just go for a simple pass behind him to Clayton. Forward in the box to Gilmore. Pulls it back and it's hit by their number 9, Cairo Mitchell, and it's over the bar. Difficult one, slightly lifted, so he had to get his foot up in volley. And he didn't quite catch it nicely. Good run in the box by Gilmore. But as I said, a lifted ball, and it was a difficult volley for Cairo Mitchell to take on. Couldn't quite divert like he did in the first half. It's under half an hour to go. The 90, it remains Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 2. As Mandeville completes a 1-2 with Tyrone Williams, and he will pass the halfway line, Mandeville, and he'll stride forward. Midway inside the Rochdale half, he'll release the ball across the pitch, looking for Dobra, but it's intercepted by Clayton. It's now east out to the left now to Keohane. He's got the overlap of Tyrese Sinclair, who will be fed the ball on the left, cut onto the right. He crosses to the far post, where the header's won by Grimes, and goes behind for a corner. Good play down the Rochdale left there. Finally getting Sinclair on the ball a little bit more. The real danger man for Rochdale, the number 7. 7 goals so far this season. Scored 3 goals last season in League 2 for Rochdale before a loan moved to Altrincham, where he got 5 in 11. That loan went through from February to April. But they've got a corner here where they could get an equaliser from. going to be a left-footed in-swinger on the far side. Now they'll go short to Gilmore. Gets the return. Low ball into the box. It's been intercepted by Chesterfield and cleared to Colclough. And the ball's been missed. And the counter-attack's on. Dobra down the left. He feeds it forward into Colclough. Gets into the final third here. He's going to go around the outside of East and then try and chop onto his right foot and plays a simple ball into Jones. He goes back once more for Chesterfield to Freckleton. And they're back on halfway now with Grimes. But it's Chesterfield back in control of the football. Drops to the far right-hand side for Naylor. The goal scorer, the winning goal scorer so far, plays it back into the path of Jacobs. On the right boot, edge of the box, running across the box, try to feed it and poke it through towards Quigley. It goes right through to the far post. Towards Dobra, and it's had to be poked behind by Oduro. Former Manchester City youth man. Jacobs with a ball, looking for Quigley. Went through in the end, nearly towards Colclough. Sorry, not Dobra. But the wing-back did his job, but concedes the corner. Liam Mandeville will go over to the Chesterfield left to put an in-swinging cross in. And it goes far post. It's curling. It's punched. Only as far as Jacobs who keeps it alive. Puts the cross in. Deflects. Does it? Is there a flag? I think there's a flag for offside. Jacobs' ball went over the bar as he crossed it and it was deflected. Let's have another look. In swinger. Punched behind by the goalkeeper. And was it handball given against him actually? No. Cross in. Deflected. Giving us a goal kick. Probably should have been a corner I think. The goal kick was given in the end. For Rochdale. And they'll play from the back. I thought that I took a deflection there personally. Rochdale play from the back. Edge of their 18 box with their goalkeeper here. Malden. Chips out to the right. Great ball. What a ball that is as well. Oduro. Ball inside to Clayton. Helped on once more. Looking for Gilmore. Cleared by Grimes. Midway inside his own half. And it's up towards Quigley, who brings it down nicely. And he keeps the ball momentarily until he's tackled by Nevitt. And Rochdale can bring the ball out. And they'll aim towards the halfway line with Clayton. Playing it forward into Keohane, who came off the bench for Cameron John, who injured his hamstring. Making a darting run forward for his side. But they're now on halfway with Nevitt. Everything in front of him now for the young centre-half. He's going to clip it out to the right. And he'll find Ucheg Bulam, who's midway inside the Chesterfield half. Still some work to do. He goes to East. Finds Clayton and the ball forward to Keohane, who just drifted from the left into the centre of the field. Is brought down cynically. And it's a free kick quite far out for Rochdale, about 40-50 yards out. So they take it out to the left of Sinclair, who's fancying it here one-on-one with Liam Mandeville. A few step-overs, but he offers too much of the ball to Mandeville and he tackles him, and it's eventually cleared by Chesterfield up towards halfway, where it'll be collected by Quigley, but a heavy touch sees it out for a throw-in for Rochdale. Just inside the Spy Rights half, and Quigley ain't happy with the decision. He thinks he should be having a free kick there after having his shirt pulled, but the referee and the linesman didn't give it, so the game goes on. Long ball, diagonal, into the box, looking for Keohane, tries to nod it down, but it deflects off a Chesterfield man, and it drops to Mandeville, who will lay it off to his goalkeeper in the 18-yard box, who really gets his foot through that and clears up towards Quigley, who tries to touch it down again, but goes out of play for a throw-in, and he kicks it down the line. Quigley in frustration, but he's not punished, because, you know, you could argue that he didn't know the ball had gone out of play. So it will be a throw-in for Rochdale on halfway, on the near side here, on the Rochdale left. And Rochdale build from the back. Ebanks Landor, ball forward, looking for Gilmore. Heavy touch though, and he loses out, and then he fouls the man who took the ball off him. Gilmore frustrated. Tackled by Tom Naylor. But for Rochdale, they did finish bottom last season, but they finished bottom by 5 points. And they were 8 points away from safety, who were on 46 points. As Ucheg Bulam is booked, I think, for his little bit of dissent there, I'm presuming, or kicking the ball away. Not too sure, but we've got 23 minutes to go, plus added on time. As Jerusalem Uchegbulum is booked for Rochdale. It's a free kick for the Spyrites, taken by the goalkeeper, Harry Tyra, coming forward from his 18-yard box. High line from Rochdale, just on the centre circle, edge of the centre circle, in their own half. It's a ball out to the right, chest down by Quigley, and it kicks it off Sinclair for a throw-in for the team in orange tonight. As a sarcastic round of applause from the Chesterfield supporters as a throw-in decision was given in their way. As Mandeville has the throw midway inside the Rochdale half. Gets the return from Jones, and they go back to their own goalkeeper here, Chesterfield, with Tyra. Lifted ball forward, looking towards Quigley, drops and it's cleared by Keohane, and then laid off to East by Clayton, who overruns it in the midfield, and Dobra wins it back on the centre circle. And Chesterfield have it again. Good work there from Armando Dobra to win the ball back for his side. The Albanian, who's got the 1 goal tonight so far. There's Chesterfield play out from the back. It's with their right back in the right back area with Mandeville inside their own half. He goes to Williams. Keeps it simple to his goalkeeper, Harry Tyra. Grimes, this time to the left back, Freckleton. Down the line it goes, and he's tackled there, Dobra, by Clayton, and it's a throw-in for the Spyrites midway inside their own half as Chesterfield are lining up 2 substitutions. It's their first 2 of the game, I believe. .21 minutes to go, plus added on time. Who are the substitutes going to be? I think one of them is going to be Ryan Colclough. Didn't score or assist tonight, Ryan Colclough, but was a constant menace and threat down that Chesterfield left-hand side, and he'll be replaced by James Berry, signed from Macclesfield, which for them was a club record fee for a player. Scored 19 goals in 23 Northern Premier League Division 1 West appearances last season, and Joe Quigley, the striker, will be brought off, and Will Grigg will get the last 20 minutes. Signed in the summer from MK Dons for an undisclosed fee. Will Grigg, now 32 years of age. His best ever goal-scoring season was in League One for Wigan in 2015-2016 when he scored 25 in 40 League One appearances. And another very experienced striker, Ian Henderson, comes on for Rochdale. 38 years old. He replaces Harvey Gilmore, so they'll go 2 up front, Rochdale. Ian Henderson got the winner in the 96th minute at the weekend at Dorking. He's got 4 goals so far this season, 2 in his last 3. All of the goals coming in victories, as he has a decent record against Chesterfield. Ian Henderson, 8 goals in 15 meetings between him and Chesterfield. So he wants to add to that. He wants to try and get his 9th goal against the Spyrites, as Rochdale have it on halfway. Forward by Clayton to Ian Henderson, number 40. He will drop towards the halfway line himself to keep the ball ticking for Rochdale. It's now Ryan East. It goes to the left to Sinclair, midway inside his own half. He's tackled fairly by Mandeville, who then gives the ball forward to Will Grigg, who's tackled fairly by East with a slide tackle. It's now Clayton in the centre circle. Clips it out to the right to Oduru. He goes back into his own half of Ebanks Landell, the captain, who also scored at the weekend, got the equaliser in the 89th minute against Dorking Wanderers, as they went on to win that game to get their 2nd win in 5. Chesterfield are looking to see this game out to get their 7th win in a row. Ball forward up towards Mitchell. Can he hold it up against Williams? He can. And he plays it back to Clayton, who volleys it forward towards Henderson on the edge of the Chesterfield box, but cleared away to the Rochdale right by Grimes. Uchegbulum loses out to Dobra, who's doing work at left back and tries to bring it forward for Chesterfield, but he commits a foul there as he's pulling back Oduro, the Rochdale right back, just doing his work there, stopping Dobra getting forward. He did well, Dobra, to pick the ball up from the Grimes clearance, but as he was trying to burst away from Oduro, he was just pulling him back, trying to get onto the ball. Just a free kick for Rochdale, midway inside the Chesterfield half, on the right-hand side, Again, nowhere near for a shot, but a great angle for a cross. He'll go short, though, to Ryan East on the left foot. He'll go over to the left to Keohane. Furthest left is Sinclair, who has it. Drives inside, edge of the box, right foot, poor shot, blocked, and in the end, it's cleared for a corner. Grimes blocked the shot, and it was available for Rochdale to try and shoot, but it was cleared before anyone could get on it in a blue shirt. And away it goes for a corner for Rochdale, who are looking for an equaliser at the Crown Oil Arena. In swinger it'll be from Ryan Clayton on this near side with his right foot. Can they get the goal? They won't at the minute because the referee's just having a word here with Ian Henderson here. And Mike Jones sorting out any pushing and shoving in the 6-yard boxes. That's what has been crowded here. Clayton balling. Headed away by Grigg, the striker. Out it goes, though, for Rochdale again. To Ryan East, who takes on Dobra nicely. Gets it back out to the left now to Ucheg Boulam, who will use Clayton, who's still out on the left from taking the corner. Sinclair down the byline, looking for a cross now. Ucheg Boulam, and he gets it in there, but it's cut out, though, by Chesterfield. It's now in the right-back area, where it's cleared up the field into the Rochdale half. Grigg will give chase, but it will run through to Malden for Rochdale, who play it forward to Ryan East, who takes it on the turn, but gives it away inside his own half. It's Jacobs trying to send it out to the left. Really poor ball. And it's won back here by Rochdale. And they'll win a throw-in. Big tackle there by Freckleton, but big chance there. Gave the ball away, Ryan East. And so did Jacobs once he'd got it through for Chesterfield, looking out to the left-hand side. So throw-in midway inside the Dales half. Taken backwards towards their own goal to Ebanks Landel. We'll keep the ball ticking as Rochdale still search for the equaliser with just over 15 minutes to go, plus added on time. All goals came in the first half through Dobra, Mitchell and Naylor, as the long ball forward by the goalkeeper has been stuck down beautifully by Sinclair. He drifts over to the right hand side and he plays it out to the right to Oduro. Goes back inside to Clayton. Dinks a ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box, where it's helped on with the head of Tyrone Mitchell, but straight into the hands of Harry Tyra. Always looking for that over-the-top ball, Rochdale, especially Adam Clayton, who's formerly with Manchester City. The now 34-year-old midfielder was at the blue half of Manchester from 1996 to 2010. Now he's playing his football in the National League as a big kick up the pitch has been flipped on by Grigg. Can't find Jacobs towards the final third, but the header by Keohane has been picked up by Mike Jones on the Chesterfield right. He goes back to Mandeville, the right back. Usually a winger, but he's put a great shift in at full back tonight. It's now Grimes who diagonally switches it out to the left, and it's helped on inside by Berry, but not towards an orange shirt. It's played forward by Nevitt into East towards the centre circle, where he is now in the centre circle, trying to pass the halfway line. He gets it out to Keohane, who goes back inside himself. The substitute, Keohane, made his 180th appearance at the weekend against Dorking for Rochdale. As it's exactly on the halfway line, it is Ebanks Landel. Not enough movement for him, so he goes back to Nevitt. High ball out to the left, and it's been brought down by Sinclair, perfectly weighted by Nevitt. Sinclair now running towards the Chesterfield goal, about 25 yards away from the goal. He goes inside to Clayton. To the right to Ebanks Landel, midway inside his own half. Plays a ball in the box, chest deep down. Mitchell tries to get onto it, tries to be cleared, but a free kick's been given Chesterfield's way in the end. I think it's Tyrone Mitchell chested it and he tried to get the shot away. He was just pulling at Chesterfield defenders to try and get the space for the shot. Good ball by Ebanks Landel. And as Grimes cleared it, it bounced off the hand of Mitchell, and that's why the free kick's been given in the end. But a really good ball from Ebanks Landel, and it was nearly the perfect touch for Mitchell, just couldn't quite get the strike away. So the free kick in the 18-yard box to be taken by Harry Tyra. Big kick out to the left, it's cut out by Rochdale, and it's headed down to Ucheg Boulam on the halfway line, on the right-hand side, trying to get on the inside of Naylor, gets beyond him and Berry. Great run so far by the former Chesterfield man. Plays it forward and he gets the return, but then he loses out to Naylor, and then as he plays it to Berry, he plays a heavy touch out of play. It'll be a throw in from Rochdale inside the Chesterfield half, so they're piling on the pressure. Long throwing down the line, looking for Uçak Bulum. Header won by Freckleton, played forward by Naylor. Out to the left now to Dobra. Gets away from one Rochdale man. Can he release it now, the Albanian? He keeps running, but he's been brought down from behind there by Oduro. And it will be a free kick on the left for Chesterfield. Well won by Dobra. Some good running by the Albanian, who had a great FA Cup run last year. Armando Dobra got 5 in 5. Got 1 in qualifying, then he got 2 in the third round in the home game against West Bromwich Albion. As Oduro has been booked, the full-back for the foul on Dobra, pulling him from behind, just kept chasing him, but eventually had to take him down, clipping his heels, making the Albanian fall to the ground. Kwaku Oduro. As Chesterfield has started playing again, with their holding midfielder, Mike Jones. To Grimes, out to the left to Freckleton, forward to Berry, off the bench. It's now with Freckleton again, just inside the Rochdale half. They try and go forward, and it's a great turn from Dobra, charging at goal. Edge of the box, plays it to his left to Berry. First time cross on the 6-yard line, cleared by Nevitt. He was aiming for Will Grigg, but the young Rochdale centre-back got there first. Next commentary is the early game on Sunday. It's Blackburn taking on Leicester. As Naylor on the edge of the box, nearly gets to the ball, but it's East to get there first, as he's going to be winning a free kick there. Ryan East, just caught by Naylor on the edge of the box. Tried to get there ahead of East there, but Naylor just caught him late. And Rochdale, with 11 minutes to go, plus any added on time we get, play from the back on the edge of the 18-yard box with Louis Molden, a 21-year-old goalkeeper on loan from Wolves. Sends it long, in behind. Does it come off the top of the head of Mandeville? I think it does, and it'll run through for a throw-in for Rochdale, right on that corner flag here on the near side. Good kicking there from Molden, and it was a okay header from Mandeville to divert the danger for now, as Keohane throws it really pathetically. It was one of them where he wants to try and take it quickly, but the player's too close to him to do that, to, get distance on it, so he has to kind of throw it down like that, which results in a foul throw. He's just rushing it there, the substitute, Jimmy Keohane, who has got a contract at the club till the end of this season, the 32-year-old. As Chesterfield push out from the back on their left-hand side. Passing the halfway line is Freckleton, the left-back. Ball forward to Berry, who's playing left wing as he was substituted on for Colclough. He gets it back into the left-back Freckleton, who'd made a run in behind. And before he could get the cross in, it's an important tackle there by Kwaku Oduro, who puts it behind for a corner. Good work by the 20-year-old fullback on loan for the season so far from Derby County. As Burnley have knocked out Salford of the League Cup 4-0. Man United still lead 3-0. Ipswich have knocked out Wolves 3-2, coming down from 2 goals behind there. Ipswich, as a gliding ball towards the far post. The header is won by Grimes, and it's gone out of play for a goal kick. Just a ball towards the far post where Grimes had to try and hold himself in the air for quite a while before it hit his head, and it was just a one that ballooned over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick, which has been taken. And Rochdale are already playing with a ball in behind by Ebanks Landell. It's just been overhit and it zips off the wet turf and behind for a goal kick on the opposite end of the field for Chesterfield. That's Paul Cook, who's managing his 75th game in the National League with Chesterfield since joining in February 2022. This will be his 39th win. It'll be 7 wins in a row for his side. Before tonight, he was averaging 1.74 points per match, with only the 17 clean sheets in his previous 74 in the league. And they're not going to be keeping a clean sheet again tonight, but they are currently winning, so he won't mind, I don't think, as long as they're getting the points. As there's movement on the Rochdale bench currently, as Rochdale have won it back in their own half after the Chesterfield goal kick, and they send the ball forward. It's a high one up towards the Rochdale left, where Uçak Bulum battles with Mandeville, and it drops to Rochdale in the end with Keohane, who's driving inside towards the centre of the pitch, where he just about shifts it back into Nevitt to keep the ball for Rochdale, who will then switch out to the right. He loves those diagonal balls, Nevitt. Headed on by Freckleton and wins the free kick. A little bit too strong on the challenge there aerially. Tyrese Sinclair. It'll be a free kick deep in the Chesterfield half for the Spyrites. And here comes the third and final change for Rochdale. Number 16 is going to be coming off, and that is Kwaku Oduro, who is on a booking, the right wing back. He's had a bit of a hard time tonight. He's tried his best. He's not been too bad. He's definitely improved as the game went on, but Ryan Colclough, who was playing on the left for Chesterfield before coming off, was definitely giving him issues, and he's going to be replaced by left back Max Conway, number 21, on loan until January from Bolton. Spent last season on loan at Buxton, second half of last season, where they finished 11th in the 6th tier. So he's going to go to the left in Keohane, who was on the left for the injured Cameron John. He's going to go over to the right-hand side, as he's got the throw in here. Keohane on the Rochdale right, throws it on the halfway line, flicked inside by Mitchell, but no one's there in blue and black. And it's now with Mike Jones on the ball. On the halfway line for Chesterfield. Goes back to Williams, the centre half. He'll go back once more to the edge of the box to Tyra, who goes forward again to Williams, as he's been pressed by Henderson. Long ball forward by Williams. He's going to search for Will Grigg, but he can't find the Northern Irishman. It's a ball collected by Molden. Rolled out to Nevitt, to his right centre-back partner, Ebanks Landell. Forward to Neohane. Chops inside and needs to play it. He goes back to Clayton, who chops inside himself nicely away from Dobra and plays it to the left to East. And he plays it west out to the left to Conway. Furthest left, everything to his right now, Ucheg Boulam. Wanting to cut onto his stronger right foot, just plays it simple though to East. Goes back out to Ucheg Boulam. Down the line to Conway, who's onside. He's keeping the ball moving. He goes back to East again. One of the furthest back for Chesterfield here, the midfield for Rochdale, the midfielder. Ebanks Landell, ball forward into Henderson, who's dropped deeper from a centre forward position. Out to the right to Sinclair. Lays it back into Clayton. Finds Keohane, who's got forward. It's now East. Ball into the box for Henderson. Misplaced touch, and it can be cleared by Freckleton, and it drops to Dobra. He'll drive forward towards halfway. He stops at the halfway line to turn back towards his own goal. He goes over too easily. No, the free kick's been given. Cairo Mitchell has got words of his own. It did seem like Armando Dobra went over very easily on the halfway line there in front of the Rochdale technical area, who were very unpleased about the decision because they were right in front of it. As we've got 5 minutes to go. Another change for Chesterfield. Number 17 will be coming off. Armando Dobra, who got the opening goal of the game. Header from 6 yards out, hit the far post, came off the near post, and eventually went over the line and into the back of the net. And he will be replaced by number 28, Ollie Banks. Signed last season on a free after his contract expired from Barrow. Thrown forward, it falls to Grigg. Out to the left now to Berry in the final third. A third goal could settle it. Back inside to Grigg. Back he goes to Freckleton. He goes halfway line to Grimes. Lifted ball forward. It's curling ball. Left-footed to Ollie Banks in the left wing position, who's been caught offside. And it'll be a free kick for Rochdale. Substitute straight into the action. Who spent the majority of his career so far playing in League 1 and League 2. But he dropped down to the National League since joining the likes of Barrow and now playing for Chesterfield. 4 minutes to go. Paul sided on time. Paul Cook's side still have the 3 points. As Rochdale come down the left-hand side, it'll be a throw-in for Rochdale. Won by Ucheg Boulam, as it came off Liam Mandeville last. And the throw-in's been taken back into their own half with Nevitt, who got the assist for the Rochdale goal. 13 minutes in. Molden forward to East. Who plays at East? Sorry, I'll stop with the direction jokes. To Ebanks Landell. When these names East and he's playing it left and right, you've got to try and make a pun. As he gets the ball now, just inside his own half still. Chesterfield just sitting a bit further back now. As Clayton gets it out to the left now to East, who passes the halfway line. Plays it forward to Ucheg Boulam, who gets away from Mandeville, and he charges forward into the box on the left. He takes it towards the byline, wants to cross. The space isn't there. He's now running towards the corner flag, but he keeps it alive, playing it back now to Conway. Back forward to Usheg onto his right foot, corner of the box. Digs out across to the far post. He looks for Sinclair. Header won by a Chesterfield man. Drops on as far as Keohane. It's now Sinclair on the far right. Everything to his left. Try to get across, but he's closed down by Freckleton. He wants to take on the left back. Go round the outside. Towards the byline. He's brought down by the left back who's been flagged for a foul. And Sinclair's not happy. He's holding his left leg. Maybe a stamp there by Freckleton. I'm not sure. Yellow card there for Mike Jones, who's got right into the referee's face because Mike Jones isn't happy there with Tyrese Sinclair's reaction after the foul was given. He was charging towards the byline. He was brought down by Freckleton. Then Sinclair reacted like he'd been stomped on or stamped on by Freckleton, who will pick up only a yellow card for his actions. I'd have to get a closer look on that if there was any foul play after the foul. So brought him down. Can't quite. The camera's not on their legs, so I can't see. Let's have a look again. Brings him down. Yep, easy foul. And I mean, whatever contact he gets on his left leg, it does not warrant that reaction. It's quite embarrassing from Tyrese Sinclair. But he's won inside a free kick. Right on the byline on the right side of the box here. So, as you can imagine, no chance for a shot. Right or left footer because it's so close to the byline. It's nearly off the pitch, right near that white line. I think it'll be a left footer just putting in, swinging ball in, ask questions. In it goes, far post, header won by Nevitt, helped away by Grimes in the 6-yard box, and it'll be seen through for a throw-in for Rochdale, but I think it's actually gone for a free kick as a card's going to come out here. Yellow card for Ian Henderson, the 38-year-old. Michael Barlow explaining the decision. I think it was a foul on the goalkeeper there. Ball went to the far post. Nevitt helped it on. Grimes headed it away. Ooh, bit of an arm pulled out there by Ian Henderson. If VAR's in action, that could be red. He's tussling with the goalkeeper, and as he's trying to push him off him, the goalkeeper, Henderson just pulls out an arm like that across the face, and he catches him. And the 38-year-old striker who got the winner at the weekend in the 96th minute, he's picked up a booking there. As the free kick's been taken, it is helped on by Ollie Banks. What a header up there by the midfielder who's playing as a target man for now. Berry driving into the box. He's been brought down and the referee waves it away. Cleared up the field by Rochdale. It was a positive run by James Berry, running forward towards the box. And as he got in towards the box, he was brought down, but the referee said fairly. Some big decisions being made. As it's a Rochdale throwing deep in the Chesterfield half. 5 minutes of added on time. That's a penalty. All day long. Charging forward towards the penalty spot. He was tripped by Ryan East, who got none of the ball. And for me, that's a spot kick. Very unfortunate for James Berry. This is Ucheg Bulam. Out on the Rochdale left. Goes to his right to Clayton. Switching it out to the right now to Ebanks Landell. He finds Sinclair. Pressed quickly by Freckleton. Gets it through the legs and gets around him. Oh, Sinclair overruns it. He's tackled then by Grimes. Or Berry. One of the two. And he fouls him as he tries to win the ball back. Sinclair. Free kick for Chesterfield towards their own box. But Berry running through. Enters the box. How is that not a penalty? Seriously. James Berry, the young winger, enters the box. Oh, actually, a bit of a dive, I think. I think it was a bit of a dive. Looking at it again, James Berry wanting and anticipating the contact. So I think the referee might have got that one right there. Looking at it at another replay. As it looks like Paul Cook's going to have a word with it. I think he's being vocal on the sidelines now. The linesman just telling Paul Cook, telling the referee to have a conversation here with Paul Cook. As there's a stoppage in play here for the linesman. Oh my word. We've had 5 minutes of added on time. We've played 2 minutes of it. The fourth official, William Davis, is going to have to replace the linesman with 3 minutes to go. The linesman on the far side in front of the technical area has obviously pulled a muscle And he can't continue the last 3 minutes bombing up and down the sidelines because obviously he's done a muscle, I think hamstring. And the fourth official tonight, William Davis, probably thinking he's had an easy night well, probably not an easy night, but he's had his ear chewed from the two, the manager of Chesterfield and the head coach of Rochdale, but, not thinking he's having to do any running, but that's changed. So the fourth official is going to have to do a job as a linesman, as an assistant referee for the last 3 minutes. Presuming we'll get a bit more time now. We'll play more than 5 minutes because of this stoppage. But the linesman's done a muscle in. And the fourth official takes over. Never seen anything like it with 3 minutes to go. Nothing, honestly, this screams nothing more than non-league football. I love it. I absolutely love it. It is fantastic. So, substitutions for the officials. William Davis comes on as the linesman on the far side in front of the technical areas. And in the left-back area, Chesterfield have got the free kick, won after a foul by Sinclair. Forward it goes into the Rochdale half. It's come off the back of Grigg and drops in the end to Clayton in the right-wing position. Chips it down the line. Sinclair will give chase. The goalkeeper will get there first on the edge of the box and he hurries a clearance out. Rochdale throwing midway inside the Chesterfield half. Still time for the Dale to get an equaliser here. Or can Chesterfield make it 7 wins in a row? Keohane gets the return from Henderson on the throw-in. Back it goes to Ebanks Landell. To his left to Nevitt. Forward, curling ball out to the left. Then he finds Conway. Plays a ball forward to Ucheg Boulam. Has to check back and go with a pass backwards to Conway, the left back. Who's in the final third from full-back. Plays it backwards himself to Nevitt. Forward to Clayton. Takes it on the turn. Looking forward. No option on. So goes out to the right to Ebanks Landell. All playing the Chesterfield half. As it's been cut out there by James Berry. And he will stride forward for Chesterfield. He enters the Rochdale half. He's not got many options. He'll take a big touch ahead of him. Tries to get beyond Adam Clayton, but he pulls him back. And it'll be a free kick for Rochdale. Good defensive work there by James Berry. And he nearly did really good attacking work, but just couldn't quite get away and around Adam Clayton. And Rochdale, who have taken the free kick, send it long towards their left-hand side, headed forward by Conway. Ucheg Boulam will give chase. And he forces a hurried clearance by Tyrone Williams. And it'll be a throw-in for Rochdale. Deep in the Chesterfield half. As Tom Naylor has been given player of the match. The current match winner. As they've taken the throw-in and they've restarted at the back in the centre circle. Ebanks Landell. Can Rochdale nick a late one? We've played the 5 minutes of added time, but we had a couple minutes of stoppages due to a change of officials. One linesman had to be withdrawn and the fourth official, William Davis, took over. Ebanks Landell. 10-yard pass forward to the right to Sinclair. Ball forward himself here to Henderson, who's drifted out to the right-hand side. He goes back inside to East. Centre of the park. Dinks it into the box. It's hooked away by Mandeville with his left foot. Falls to Jacobs, who completes a 1-2 with Mike Jones. Now out on the right, Jacobs looks to get forward. Get the ball away from his own goal. He drives inside. And he switches it out to the left. Loads of room for James Berry. Not quite a good touch in front of him. But he takes it out wide for himself. And he's brought down fairly. Surely that's a foul. But no, says the referee. Berry a little bit lackadaisical on the ball. And he's been pickpocketed. And now Rochdale get forward. Ball cut out by Freckleton. And it doesn't drop to Ebanks Landell. And Freckleton can bring it away. And he plays it forward to James Berry again, who's this time has been fairly dispossessed by Jimmy Keohane. And Rochdale will build from the back. We've played an extra minute of the 5. Clayton, ball down the right channel. It's been held up by centre-back Ebanks Landell, who's got forward. Sinclair chips the ball into the box. It'll go right through to Conway, who runs towards the corner flag. He runs away from the corner flag and he keeps the ball alive with East. Clips a ball to the far post. Sinclair heads it forward and well wide and out for a goal kick. Both players are down with head injuries. Freckleton and Sinclair. But I think it came off the head of Freckleton first and then off the head of Sinclair and behind for a goal kick. And again, I'm not sure how much time will get added on, but this will just only add to it. Paul Cook is trying to get Miguel Freckleton up. Just not wasting time. But in fairness, both players went down holding their heads, so It must be a semi-serious blow to the head if both players have gone down. There's Paul Cook, the manager of Chesterfield. It's his second spell at the club, barking instructions as the ball's been cleared forward. Both players back on their feet. Can't be helped on by Will Grigg, but the ball will drop to Chesterfield, which is cleared up the field towards the Chesterfield right, out for a throw-in the defensive third for Rochdale. It needs to be taken quickly by Conway, who then throws it back towards his own box to Nevitt. Plays it across to their goalkeeper, Malden, who will clear it forward, and that will be the referee's whistle blown. At the Crown Oil Arena, it will end Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 2. It's a top away win for the Spy-Rights, and they extend their winning run to 7 in a row. They took the lead early on in the 7th minute through Armando Dobra, scoring his second of the season. It was a well-worked cross down the right-hand side by Jacobs. 3 in the box. Armando Dobra headed home. It went off both posts before crossing the line, and that put them 1-0 up, but it was cancelled out quickly. 13 minutes in, Cairo Mitchell scored just on the edge of the box, receiving a pass from young centre-back, 17-year-old George Nevitt. Great assist for the youngster, but it wasn't enough to keep hold of the draw, because in the 26th minute, the final goal of the game was put home by Tom Naylor. Signed a 3-year contract with the club after leaving Wigan in the summer. He's gone from playing Championship football to National League football, but he is currently sending his side through up towards League 2. He returns, Tom Naylor, after missing their last game at the weekend through suspension. But his goal, after a Mandeville cross after a short set-piece routine, is headed in to the back of the net. Unmarked again, a Chesterfield man in the 6-yard box. Easy header for Tom Naylor, which could be put home beyond the Rochdale goalkeeper, Louis Malden. Chesterfield remain top of the league, 10 wins out of 12, 7 in a row, 5 points clear of Solihull Moors, who also won their game tonight away at Hartlepool. Rochdale moved down a place on goals scored. Altrincham go up to 7th after their away win at Maidenhead. Rochdale dropped down to 8th, who remain on 18 points, and they are on the same points as Altrincham, who are taking up the last playoff spot. But the gap stays the same, but the points grow for Chesterfield. 31 points now out of an opening 36 possible. It's a great start to the season for Paul Cook. It's a really good away win coming to Rochdale, who were relegated from League 2 last season. And at the end of the game, we've had officials substituted through injury. We've had 3 first-half goals. We've had chances in the second half. But in the end, it is Chesterfield who will go home the happiest, taking the 3 points. Great commentary as usual, Chisholm. Thank you very much. If you have enjoyed the commentary, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Just try to cover all different kinds of leagues. If you are wondering what the next commentary is, it is going to be Blackburn taking on Leicester on the 1st of October, which is this upcoming Sunday. It is the early kickoff. And next midweek on the 4th of October, which is the Wednesday night, I'll be covering Newcastle against PSG. Then I'll have a 2-week break because I am on holiday for a week, and then it's the international break as well. But then I'll return on the 22nd of October with AC Milan against Juventus. So before my 2-week break, we have got another 2 commentaries. Blackburn, Leicester on Sunday, and next Wednesday I'll bring you Newcastle against PSG. But as I just said before, if you are new, make sure you like and subscribe, and also subscribe and like if you enjoyed as well. But after 90 plus minutes of football, Rochdale, unfortunately, are defeated by Chesterfield, who extend their winning run to 7 in a row in the National League. They're 5 points clear at the top. Will they make that leap into the Football League after their heartbreak last season in the playoff final? They're off to a great start. Can they keep it up? That's the main question. But here at the Crown Oil Arena, Chesterfield take the 3 points away from home, and it ends Rochdale 1, Chesterfield 2.